We start out on this new road. No turning back. But we have our ancestors with us. We're gonna continue to dance with them. Dreaming them. Calling them. Being them. We are becoming what we were.
It is part of that Mayan prophecies.
7 triangles of light.
Keep walking. You are the spirit of Unapu. Keep walking. We the human, we are doing the spirit of Unapu.
People who say that the gods made them from corn. They planned their lives according to the heavens. Well versed in astronomy, using a sophisticated mathematics, they calculated the movements of the night sky thousands of years into the past and thousands of years into the future. They knew that the universe moved in cycles. Their lives were ruled by the rhythms of the natural world, planting and harvesting, birth and death, just as the great tree of life emerges from the earth.
Always, they're connected. Science and religion.
In dreams, we learn from the Maya gods when to plant and when to harvest, when to set the fire, and when to do the corn ceremony.
What we're digging up, what we're coming up with is part of our history. And the men that lived here are some of the greatest men we've ever had. And it's the fact that we're getting to know more and more and more about the life of these people.
They still maintain their customs. They still maintain their ways of organizing their societies. And it's very exciting to see how much of the ancient Maya way of life is still alive as well.
Because American history does not begin in 1492 with Columbus. It begins in 200 BC with the first Maya king who wrote his name on a stone. What is happening now is the people who made these places, people like Yashpak or Bird Jaguar or Pakal, are getting back their voices. They are becoming real to us and speaking to the people of the 20th century about who built this place and why and what they felt and what they thought about the world. These are not anonymous people anymore.
You are the spirit of Unapu. Keep walking. We the human, we are doing the spirit of Unapu.
The earliest edict of this kind was the Doom de Versailles, issued by Pope Nicholas V, which gave colonizing Europeans permission directly from God to, quote, capture, vanquish, and subdue the enemies of Christ, to put them into perpetual slavery, and to take all their possessions.
It seems like the trail of tears never ends. The harder the light, the darker the skin. When did this begin? The greed of evil men who happen to have white pale skin. Write down the laws, create the constitutions. We the people, just a pimped out illusion. A trickery of words that deceive the lost herds. But ancient are my people, medicine my word. Cause the gods of time, they write my rhymes. They keep my heart divine so I can see between the lines. The stars are the sign that travel space and time. You can never own my spirit, you will never own my mind.
Descend from my place in the stars. Half Gonzal, half Jack, on my lyrics hit hard. Half Gonzal, half Jack, on my lyrics hit hard. Lyrics hit hard. Lyrics hit hard. Half Gonzal, half Jack, on my lyrics hit hard.
You see the spirits in the wind have a deal with men to never hurt the earth and to always defend. the elders, the children. Sacred is the flower that we call our women. The power of creation, the seventh generation, the carriers of light. They suffered so much through a 500-year night. Raping Spaniards, pedophile priests, manifest destiny, mark of the beast. We seem to have forgotten the Spanish Inquisition when they murdered fucking millions in the name of their religion. Their modern day rendition, but a vaccine inquisition, ran by billionaire elites and corrupt politicians. These are the seeds of white supremacy, white superiority over colored majorities. Doctrine of discovery, 1493.
Ghost of the ancient set in the sage set. Ghost of the ancient set in the sage set. Ghost of the ancient set in the sage set. Ghost of the ancient set in the stage set. Broke into the Vatican, strangled the Pope with a rosary. Broke into the Vatican, strangled the Pope.
Somos agua, somos tierra, somos fuego, somos viento.
Este es nuestro rezo, sí, aquí, Chicano, Mexica Connection, Loco Pachicote en la Cali, desde los barrios de Tenochtitlán, México, Los Ángeles, Califastlán, Kiba, Meteo.
Se estudiaron movimientos de los 4 elementos. Se tomaron los momentos para crear estos centros. Que los tiempos ni los vientos poderán con estos templos. Que no vengan con inventos, falsedades y con cuentos. Somos descendientes de una gente inteligente, utilizando siempre mente sabia como serpientes sabia. Toda la gente que no hay nada diferente, lo que ve, lo que se siente, espíritu presente. Fue invocado, llamado del otro lado, porque todo antepasado lo dejó aquí bien grabado. Que no fuera olvidado y que fuera estudiado, así todo lo creado sea elevado. Somos gente de ciencia, honrando creación. Ciencia y religión siempre tuvo conexión. Y México, el ombligo con la luna. Como esta ciudad, no hay ninguna.
Ciudad celestial, corazón del mundo. Ahí es donde nació mi pensamiento profundo. Águila nopal, la voz del jaguar. Te escribo mis letras con pluma de quetzal. Mi mensaje es antiguo, te canto medicina. Yo soy como una espina, difícil de quitar. Yo soy como una rola de maldita vecindad. Enlocando la gente, te abro tú y yo soy descendiente de esta tierra mexicana. Aunque yo vengo del otro lado de Tijuana. La L, la A, Califastlán. Y los que no me crean, mi sangre es mi prueba.
Plazo Kamatli, Impalemowani, El Vuh en la Cali Corroco, Tonali, from ancestors who are still with us, guide us, unite us, uplift us through a spiral flow, mind, body, and soul.
Oh, we got some very special guests here today.
Welcome to LA Natives.
Oh, I sat in the wrong chair. I gotta move. My bad.
I appreciate everyone tuning in.
The honor fee.
It's going to be a very amazing show.
That's why they say don't stay first, because they might ask you for more.
My fault.
Yo, Richie.
I forgot.
Let's get in this.
Here you go, a little bit Messina, just in case you want some. Oh. Here we are, LA Natives. Thank you for being patient with us. We are so excited.
If there's any way we could get the brother to put on his earphones.
Oh, you got to use the earphones as soon as he's done. Here we go.
Hey guys,
LA Natives.
Hey guys, talk to as close to the microphone as possible.
Richie, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
I'm so happy you're here, brother.
Mexica
New Year vibes still going on right here. And we are honored and privileged to have a humble worker, strong medicine. I can't say enough about this great individual to my right. He's laid it down and found a way to do it, even if it came out of his own pocket. And we're lucky to have him here. And I'm not gonna give you a 5-hour intro. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, welcome, MAZATZIN, to LA natives, Uncle. Meshikatiawe.
An honor to be here with you, both of you, all of you. Producer,
Thank you.
The team, everybody.
If you want to introduce yourself, you want to say something just to introduce who you are, where you come from.
Tlasokamati, Wimiak. Tecutlani miak chikawalisli, one wekwali, tonali, one wekwali, otli. Newa MAZATZIN, one nonansin chichimecatl, one totatsin kikapu in Mexico. I said, hello everybody. My mother is from Chichimeca, pueblo. Chichimeca. Y mi padre, mi abuelo, mi abuela de mi padre, Kikapu. También de México. Mexican Kikapu. My name is, well, they call me MAZATZIN. And I answer by MAZATZIN.
Absolutely.
So I just want to say once again, Tlasokamati, Wemiak, Tecutlani, Miak Chikawalisli. I'm saying thank you so very, very much. And I'm hoping that this day will be the day that we've been waiting for.
Yes.
The culmination of many years of preparation, of you planting and preparing the earth for quite a while.
Yes.
And they say when the students are ready, the teacher will come.
Absolutely.
And the teacher is not I, the teacher is the ancestors.
Exactly my view, Uncle. I never take credit for wanting to have a good intention for my community. I can't take credit for that. I can't take credit for asking you to come on here and tell the people that have been in the darkness for so long, that darkness is over, correct?
Yes, but there's always been a candle.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's always been a candle. So and the darkness wasn't necessarily the wrong place to be.
See?
In fact, we were instructed to hide everything in our hearts, where nobody can mess with it. Until the moment came, when the sun would look down and see dignified to return to us. That's our promise. So we don't have to depend too much on the prophecies or the predictions, because we have promises. Promise.
So you hear that, everyone? Everyone, Cuauhtémoc instructed us to hide everything in our heart, and that there will be a time where the sun will shine on us, and that medicine will be released.
The key, there's another key word there. The key word is the sun will see dignified to return.
Dignified to return.
And we've been stuck there.
Absolutely.
About 500 years. Stuck there. Ever since the young grandfather Cuauhtémoc told the invaders, right? We have a treasure more precious than the sun sweats that's got you crazy, but you're not ready to begin to understand. Wow. Since that time, when they said they had a disease of the soul that could only be cured with gold, and unfortunately we were all contaminated. Like 500 years ago, most, I guess you could say most of the people perished because of the viruses and the diseases that came, and the war, of course, or the massacres and so forth. But nonetheless, even though 500 years of resistance that people talk about, I think we got to realize that was really 500 years of persistence. 500 years de pervivencia, of survival. And here we are. We got our young people here now.
Right.
And we can still say, "Hey, ¿qué hubo?"
Yes.
Kenny in Temuica, how's it going? No Chantlacat, my homeboy.
We're still here. That's always been the core of this show. The core of this show is survival of genocide. The persistence of continuing on with little we have, and being grateful of that, and understanding that is a gift, and that it will grow if you take care of it. And here we are. A great teacher, ready to share a message, right?
Well, yes, the message part. Yes, the message part.
See the humility. I love it. I love it.
Well, because we want to walk out of here, okay? We don't want our heads to get stuck on the wall, on the door, on the way out.
Just know it's coming from a place of love. I'm not I'm not shy. I don't care what anybody says. You've taught me so much, and I need to give you that respect.
Oh, Tlazokamati. I accept it. I accept it, man. You know that?
That's what I mean. When I say
we've
teacher,
we've been working for a long time, and I'm honored, you know, that our work, you know, combined, you know, and you took it, and, like I said, I'll never forget when we crossed paths right there in front of the Temple of the Sun.
Yes.
You know? Okay.
Yes.
So
I remember.
we're on the road. You know, here we are. So thank you very much for inviting me, you know, to be here. But like I said, if we're talking about 500 years of persistence, well, that means that there was something there that was indestructible. You know, something there that has never been broken. And now, because of what happened, and the preparation to today, to this very day, the preparation, the past year, the year before, the past couple of years, since 2019, which was really the 500-year mark of when, according to their history, they came upon the mainland. I got other ideas about that, but it's okay. We'll go with their history.
Okay.
That way we can have a point of reference. And but anyway, 500 years ago, 2019, they came upon the land. And it began, you know, it began, I guess you could say, now in 2019 for us, you know, here we are in the middle of a big
commotion.
A big commotion. And now in 2020, we get this virus pandemic. But now the whole world gets it too. Okay, so it's not just us. But our pueblo suffers a lot. It's suffering a lot today. You know, so we got to continue the work to protect them, take care of them.
Absolutely.
Make sure that they have, especially with the medicines and the foods that we're getting back to using our own. You know.
Yeah.
But I want to go to the point where we are ready. The time is now. The time is here.
Okay.
Everything has been prepared. Like I said, you've been preparing this land for quite a while. I know you have. You know, like hoeing and making the road, como dice, para sembrar, you know. And so now we're going to plant some seed.
Absolutely.
We're going to plant some seeds of the transformation of the Son into the people. You know, that's what we're here for.
We're honored. We're honored with that time that we have right here. You know, it's important that we realize that the persistence that my uncle MAZATZIN is talking about is that heartbeat inside your heart. You're persisting. You want to know. I want to know. I want to know. I want to be right here. I somehow the Creator led me to be right here, but we're presenting it to the community. So I'm just gonna give you the microphone, MAZATZIN, and it's your show, brother.
I'm gonna talk to Richie. How you doing there, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's an honor. I was there listening to you on Sunday. That was really beautiful, and I'm just humbly listening to everything you two have to say right here. So yeah.
Well, thank you, and that's the main thing. The main thing is, like yourself and all of you, you know, you're just a person who can pass something on to somebody else. You eat it at a good restaurant, you want your friends to come and eat there, you know, right? Or if somebody has got problems, well, you want your friends to come and help. You know?
Absolutely.
So the whole thing is that, you said it, community. So I guess we're going to talk about community. You know?
Okay, let's start there. Community.
Yeah, yes. The universe is the community, okay? And our bodies is the community as well. Many different main organs, many different main organs, see? Not just one. And so when something happens, like if you hurt your finger, excuse me, my language. You hurt your finger, I mean, really, you feel it, you know, and guess what? All your body feels it, you know? And automatically they all want to rush over there and do something about it. Okay? That's what it's about. So I want to talk community, but I want to talk about a spider. Because we have so many different views, different points of view, so many different things happening. Like you said, you know, we're all trying to wake up. And some are waking up faster than others, than me and others. And but everybody's just by themselves, okay? And they all want to have a web. A web is for protection, right? If somebody falls, you feel it. Just like when you hurt your finger, you know? Everything feels it, you know? You feel every move.
Right.
You know? And but you know what? I feel that we don't have a spider yet. Because that's what happened. That's what the invasion was about. That's what that was about. Destroying, our mother spider, who had a web that covered the whole continent, And whether they called it Abiyala, whether they called it, Anahuac, Tawantinsuyo, or Turtle Island, whatever.
Right.
But they knew that it was a web, or that they were together, what do you call it, knitting a beautiful blanket, But it was a web, and that's what was destroyed. What was destroyed was our mother, the mother the mother spider. That's the way I feel. And so I had to realize, hey, I'm just a little hair on the foot of the spider, Okay? So I'm just barely a hair on the foot of the spider. How many more do I need to create a foot, Right? I'm just a hair on the foot of the spider.
Right.
And so my friends over there in Bolivia, and my friends over there in Argentina, and over there in San Pancho, all the groups, all the peoples, we're just a hair on the foot of the spider. We don't have a spider yet.
Oh.
Okay? So we have to create, and that's where the community comes in. Create part of that spider.
Right.
Create part of that spider. And that's what we've been doing. So all through the continent, there are little pieces coming out, strong pieces.
Right.
But they think that there's a whole spider, and they're not. They're just a little hair on the foot of the spider.
Right.
But they think there's a whole spider, and that's the problem. Everybody wants to lead and let's go this way, let's go that way. And when we say, wait a second, we got to put the spider together. So we're creating a spider. And I think that we're there. I think that we're right there. I think that all the pieces are there now, And I think that in this past year, that's what was a gift to us. As much as we cry for those that have transcended, family of mine, true loved ones of mine, people close to me, and close to all of us, As much as all that, we think it's too soon, but we say we're not in control of time, So we can't say yes or no, but we do miss them. But nonetheless, they were a blessing. So those were beautiful seeds that were put into the earth.
Right.
And what's going to come out is transformation, Okay? So, but during that time, what happened? We couldn't move, we couldn't walk, we couldn't go and see our friends or be, or meet our work and our people. But we started connecting online, connecting online. Connecting online to the people way allá in Argentina, the Mapuches way allá in Chile, I mean, people up there in Canada, everywhere.
And we connected on the web.
And we connected throughout, okay? So everybody was there. Right. I remember seeing, and still, I'm still hooked up with them, I belong to one group, real important group, medicine group. It's called La Medicina Tradicional de Abiyala y los Cuatro Rumbos. And these are all people from Tawantinsuyo, the land of the condor. And, but I remember in that group, wow, there's some people in there, they got a little bitty, the brand new phones, the oldest phone that came out. And that's what they're using. And some, blurry and the lines, and you can barely hear them. But they're on there, and you can hear them talking their language and saying prayers and how happy they are that they have connected with other people. Wow. So that's what happened. So, and also another beautiful thing that happened amongst all this stuff is that the Mother Earth, like we took her off the ventilator for a year. Okay?
Right.
We've had her on a ventilator for the past 50 years, She can barely breathe, especially here in LA right now. But at least for a year, she got to breathe. At least for the 8 years, she got to breathe. And the abuelos that I was talking to, they told me that's what it's about right now. It's about staying apart. It's about not to stay apart, but come inside, know who you are.
Right.
Don't be too far out that you don't know where you're at.
Right.
So it's about time us coming together, inside, internally, make sure, then we can reach out. But the time's going to come. Like, look, here we are.
Yes.
We could have done this a few months ago, Okay? But now we're moving in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Okay? So we got to give thanks, And the whole thing, that's the community. The world is the community. It's not just a Chicano thing or a Mexican thing or a Nastic thing.
Right.
It's a human experience.
Absolutely.
Totally. And so I don't, like I said, there was always the candle, Brother always had, abuelita there or tío there or somebody from a primo from down south, whatever. And so there was always a connection. There was always a candle. We did our ceremonias, whether it was even just Easter or the past,
Right.
It's a gathering of familia, So whatever the ceremony of the thing is,
Or the Day of the Dead.
Exactly.
That's so popular, right?
Yeah. I would like to talk about that. Yeah, it's very popular. People come together, and the whole world knows that Mexico knows what it's talking about in that regard. You know, because we made it a tradition of ours now. And but the thing is that people have to come together, man. You know, and check out, make sure everybody's got what it takes. I mean, what they need, and what it takes.
Right.
You know?
I think it's important to understand what Uncle MAZATZIN is saying is that you have to be a healthy being. Start to heal yourself, go internal, cure the trauma that we all had for 500 years. It's a historical trauma, but it's time to wake up from it and use the medicines that you can find and trust yourself. And I think the time is now.
Yeah, the time is now. Like I said, we have a promise, okay? And so our promise can come true.
What was the promise? What was that promise?
The promise is that one day the sun would shine on us again. Okay? Nice. That's the promise. And the Mother Earth will regain her strength and give to each one what it takes to fulfill our mission. You know? So that's real super important, because we always made a point that the idea wasn't revenge or you know, we're gonna get back, or you know, this and that, or I'm the bad Aztec, you know, stuff like that, you know. And but the idea was, hey, let me get back to work, okay? In other words, excuse me, you know.
Yeah.
You're interrupting my work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our cultura was not like mini culturas, not like any other culturas you see in the other side of the world that came up and went down because of their own behavior, because of their own destruction of themselves. Ours never did that. I
never thought about that.
No, ours never did that.
I never thought about that, Uncle. Our culture did not end because of our fighting. Someone came and severed it. I always say that.
Well, yeah, but once again, let's calm down a little bit.
Okay.
It's like somebody walking by and seeing a pretty flower and just hitting it and cutting it off.
Right.
Right when it's blossoming.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And that's where our cultura was. So our cultura was in the blossoming of culturas, you know, and it, like a flower just ready to produce fruit and seed, because it was complete, because it was fulfilled, it had fulfilled its mission, and that's what it's all about. So we're very lucky, very fortunate. The world is fortunate. They don't know how fortunate they are. That's what I'm saying. It's about, hey, let us get back to work. Would you get out of the way now? You know, give you 500 years, man. Come on, you know. You know, when do we do this? You know?
Exactly. In a humble way.
Yeah.
Scoot over.
or let's walk this direction. Let's see who needs help. Let's find out. But anyway, I think what I'm trying to get at is that our cultura was developing, learning, learning how to be. But it was going on throughout the whole continent, you know, way up north, way down south. Brother, right now, the work I've been doing with the abuelos down south, you know, I feel sorry for us. Like you said, this is the part that I said, wow, I wish we had that connection, had that familia, had that community, because they're solid down there, brother.
Yeah.
The one thing Suyo, serious.
Yeah.
You know, and I said, well, we really, really do, but we just don't recognize it. You know, we don't respect our mom enough. You know, we don't respect our dad enough. You know,
right.
You know, we don't respect our grandfather enough to where we even ask him, "What's up, Grandpa?" You know,
right.
You know, so it's there.
Right.
It's there. So that's our job.
Right.
Once we realize that, hey, we got all the parts to the spider now, let's get together.
Right.
And guess what? Then all the abuelos, you know, the abuelas, and as old I may look, you know, I'm looking to the abuelos because they're there still, ¿me entiendes?
Right.
I'm a youngster todavía, you know.
Right.
You know, I recall one time I was in Xcatiopan and they told me, you want to find out about Cuauhtémoc, go talk to this old man over there. So I went over there and we were talking for a long time. Then he goes, es todo lo que te puedo decir. Solamente los viejos saben más que you know? So I have to go ask them. You know? Yeah.
Wow.
So in other words, they're there.
Right.
And that's what I realized. The people are there, got the knowledge. Our abuelos, you know, your pops, you know, your uncles, you know, if they came from Mexico, they went to school, they got information.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because when they were over there, they were not picking tomatoes and washing dishes, ¿me entiendes?
Right.
they had careers, they had, you know, education.
Right.
And, you know, and unfortunately, it doesn't count here sometimes, you know. So, but once again, getting back to the community, okay, so they give a message. One day the sun will shine on us again. But he told us, meanwhile, cover everything up. let only the streets remain. From now on, your homes will become the schools. Respectable mother, teach your daughters. Respectable father, teach your sons. Teach her how good she was, how much she loved us, what she gave to us. Our Totlazo, Tlanantzin, Anahuac, our beloved, respectable Mother Earth. And one day the sun will shine on us again. That's when he says, one day the sun will look down and see dignified to return. So what is waiting? What's the problem? I call it the disease of the soul that can only be cured with gold. That we all have been, contaminated by that.
Right.
But the other problem is, if we don't recognize our Father, we're not going to open that door and let Him in.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the Son. See, so the Son is like a good father, not religiously, but like a good pop.
Yeah.
Who wants to give light and warmth.
Right.
To his children.
Yes.
And that's your dad. That's my pop.
That's what I strive to be for my children.
Yeah.
I just want to give light and warmth to my kids. That's all.
And you know what? And mom, she'll work her fingers to the bone.
Yeah.
To give food, clothing, and shelter.
Yes.
Her own, whatever it takes.
Yes.
Okay? Well, that's Mother Earth. Okay?
Yes.
She gives us everything. Father, Son.
And my partner does that.
He gives us everything. Exactly.
My partner does that exactly. She'll work 24 hours if she had to, and she does.
I just saw Grandma do it this morning.
Yes.
Where I was at.
I agree.
So that's right. In other words, what are they? Because they represent the Mother Earth. So they're their mission. And someone said, us men many times turn out to be just the parasites,
Right.
What do we produce,
Right.
Help a little bit, but that's about it.
Right.
Then we don't take responsibility to continue. So what is the biggest responsibility that we have? I think that the biggest responsibility that we have is never to let our children forget the potential and the qualities, that they have access to, so they can fulfill their mission. And so we can deliver to them this ancient, information and culture as tools so they can build their new world.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. So,
and we're talking about the sacred calendar birthday, right? The Tonalamat that we've been announcing on our LA Natives podcast. So now that you say the sun will will see dignity and give us what we need, I just automatically thought of the Tonalamat energy. And that when you sink in, and I'll let you elaborate, what's the power? What does it mean? What is it? Can you break that down? Can we get into what the Tonalamat birthday energy is?
Yes, we got the calendar right there.
Okay. So,
there it is.
Okay, I'll hold that for you.
And
okay, I'll hold that for you. There you go.
So we have our calendar. Probably get the big calendar.
Maybe the bigger one. Okay, yes. Go and grab that. It's fine. That's fine.
But meanwhile,
yeah.
Let me explain a little something. Because we talked on Tonalamat.
Yeah.
Okay, and this little booklet is called a Tonalamat.
Okay.
It means tonal, the sun.
Right.
Amate, el papel amate.
Right.
So it's a record of the passing of the days of the sun. What they will record, what they were observing.
Right.
What they were observing. And un día, the next one, and like this. So that's what this is. So it talks about every day as we're coming into it, right? And the qualities and potentials in that piece of time.
Right.
Okay. And
so you could hold one side and I'll hold another side, and we'll let Maestro talk. So.
Yeah,
this one right here. You can see that, right? Can you guys see that? You guys can see that, right? This is just an example, and as we get our things organized, Uncle's coming here, but we got these. These are going to be available.
You can zoom in and zoom on.
These are going to.
I just did, guys. I just zoomed into this
go.
amazing calendar here.
All right, let's do this. Thank you, Richie. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see.
Let's get it closer.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay. Just briefly, we're going to talk right now about this circle right here on this calendar, or the 20 days of the calendar. Okay. Okay. The whole calendar is a culmination of thousands and thousands of years of patient and careful observation and study by thousands of people across thousands of miles. Okay, and it came to culminate in what we know today, universally known as the most precise calendar system ever created. And we didn't say that, but we can prove it.
Right.
Better yet, we can use it. Okay? And the Aztec calendar. Okay?
We can use it. That's the most important part.
Yeah.
We can use it.
It's alive. It's alive as when they made it, because it is a measurement of time and space, respecting time and space. So they developed a system. So when I say the culmination, in order for me to say that, we had to find pieces older than the calendar that are in the calendar, right? And one of them is this. These are codex. These are original images from the ancient book that today they call the Codex Borgia. That's in the Apostolic Library of the Vatican, okay? And so these are original, but they're older than this, okay? And then there's stones, like these 4 squares that are right here, that represent the earth, the wind, the fire, and the water. Those exist in another piece of stone, the 4 squares around them, that are older than the calendar. And then I happened to observe, I had an opportunity to go into the British Museum one time. And there I found this part of the calendar. All this part, they did not know what it was because they call it something different. But it's this part of the calendar, the serpent, it's called the Shukoat. And it's one piece, and it's one piece, and it would be almost like this, like open. The same design over here as it's over here. So it's actually from both sides and the front. It's like 3 different, serpents. Yeah, exactly. So it represents both sides of this. This, by the way, right here, these 2 serpents, they culminate right here. They represent 13,000 years, and the other 13,000 years. This is the 26,000 year cycle on this calendar. And it goes down and down and down in time, down to 18-minute segments on this calendar. It's a clock. So it's an ancient calendrical map and cosmic clock, okay? And that's what we have right here now. Okay, so I'm putting that trying to put into perspective because all these images right here, they're from the Sierra de Oaxaca. They're Zapotec, Mixtec, like not even associated with Aztec, according to historians, right? Okay. Yes. But this proves that they're definitely working together. Absolutely. That's what it's about. So it was an evolution and sharing, like we do. I mean, like right now, the stuff that you guys were talking earlier, how you got into the podcast and how you got into this, but you're sharing, Yeah. And from here we're going to go further.
Absolutely.
Okay? So we're not trying to, put nobody or get in front of anybody. We're trying to say, hey, look, come and join us. Let's go. Absolutely. And that's what happened here. So that's why I say thousands of years by thousands of people across thousands of miles. Absolutely. Nobody could have done this by themselves. Absolutely. The most important thing to me is this little square up here. It's 13 reed. Matlakdi Akat. It represents the year 1479. In 1479, that's when they carved this stone. And that was only 13 years before the invasion of 1492. So, but the most important thing I said, they finished the work. They finished the work. Thousands and thousands. Because by the time they made the book, even back then, you don't write a book until you edit it, right? And where do you gather the information? It takes, got to go to every corner pretty much of the continent to gather this information, and then they put it together. So the Aztec calendar is actually, I think, the proof. And the problem is a lot of people, they don't want to believe in the calendar, or they want the Mayan calendar. They don't know is the next logical step to the Mayan calendar because they all work together. But the important thing about the Aztec calendar, I think, is that it has pieces of all the peoples, in this continent. Okay, from Peru, from the Chacana, like what I wear here. You can see it, this little Chacana. So that image right here. So that image is Venus, and that's the beginning of the measurements that brought them to the knowledge that the sun was the center of our universe. Okay, and so they brought, in their calendar, it's called Inti, our sun, and that's the center. Okay, but then from there it evolved and evolved and evolved. Okay, and it didn't end there. That was the beginning. So I have enough confidence so far that our beginning of the calendar systems is down there. Lake Titicaca, Tiahuanaco. I've been honored to have been in Tiahuanaco. at the door of the sun, and see, and been in that place and see where the Chicana comes from. It's called Chicana, too.
Chicana.
The Chicana with the talking to the Chicana, that's cool. But anyway, so what they have here is a culmination, okay? And it measures time. So these are the days of the calendar. Would you see all this information and that you see here, all these images? They're all inside here. Okay. In other words, you can read all this in here.
Wow.
Yeah. So it is a culmination. And it's also a clock. It's a clock. And we've already broken it down where you can move on this clock. You can see where we're at right now. Wow. What time is it right now? Let's see where we're at.
What time is it right now?
It's exactly 7:13 Pacific Standard Time.
7:13.
7:13 Pacific. We're in the year of the house. Right here in the corners, or the year of the years signs, or symbols, the house. I brought it out here. There it is, the house. Okay, and it begins to be measured at midnight to midnight. The next year is in this corner, on the bottom. It's the rabbit. That one is measured 6 hours later, a quarter of a day later, sunrise to sunrise. And then the next year, a quarter of a day later, noon to noon. And then again, a quarter of a day later on Flint, sundown to sundown. So they're moving a quarter a day every year, using up that quarter of a day. So 365 and a quarter days, no leap years. That's why it's the precise calendar. We're in the year of the house right now. So the days begin to be measured at midnight. So we use the top number because this one will be measured at midnight and this one will be measured at noon. So for these 2 years, house and read, you can use this top number. The rabbit is at sunrise and the Flint is at sundown, and for that one you use the bottom number on this clock. So we started at midnight, just like we do today. And we came around, so now, and we began here at 6 o'clock, and right here at 7:12. These time periods, these little guys right here, these are 72-minute pieces of time.
Wow, that's how you're able to derive the day of your birthday.
It's going to go to the moment. Well, we'll show you a little bit more about this right now.
Keep going.
But these are 72-minute pieces of time. Divided by 4, so they're 18 minutes apiece. Wow. And as you can see, it is the symbols of the days in each one. And they're coming, and the end in flower, and then they start again. The day signs, end in flower, and again.
Holy smokes.
So there's 4 groups. You could say like 5 fingers right here.
Wow.
5 fingers in here. And each one is doing a particular thing here. These have a bone in the eye.
Right.
They're activating the sensors of the vision, the heart, and the intellect of this piece of time. And then over here, they're presenting. They're endorsing, presenting. And over here, they have them by the umbilical cord, you could say, energizing. And then over here, they're women, and they're like weaning. You know? So these are qualities. All of these, none of these are gods or devils or boogeymen. You know, these are potentials that exist in a piece of time. So these are all just pieces of time, and the qualities that exist in a piece of time. So when we start learning these images, and they'll repeat themselves, you'll see them again. Like you'll see Quetzalcoatl here, you'll see Tezcatlipoca here, you see those names that have given people fright.
Right.
You know, but you see them doing various different things. Tezcatlipoca here, Ishkimili, the one you can see without the eyes. Wow. There's a different Tezcatlipoca, you know. He's up here again, see? In other words, you know, Chipetotec. Chipetotec is the guide of this 20-day period. So we're traveling in 20-day cycles, these 20-day cycles.
Wow.
See? So everything is in sync. So Atona Lamat is a record of the passing of the days of the sun. So when we correlate your birthday and your time, because now we have a clock too, you know, we can find where we were at, not only on the calendar, but also on the sacred books, the ancient books.
Right.
Where you were at in the 20-day periods, who was the companion of the night at that time, because how about that? That's another calendar. I don't know if I had a chance to tell you. That's another calendar.
Wow.
So we have a calendar of the night, and they measured it every night. It moves in groups of 9.
So then this is the calendar of the day.
Well, this is the calendar of the 20 days.
Okay, the 20 days.
But it moves in 13-day cycles. So here we have the 13-day cycle. Okay, so this is a calendar of 13-day cycles. 13, and there's 20 of them.
Right.
Which means each one of these 20 days gets to be number one, right? Right there's number one, crocodile. There's number one crocodile. Up to the reed, see? And then next to the jaguar, up to the skull, it's over here.
Wow.
So in other words, yeah, that was wow, exactly what I said. I was, what?
Wow.
I mean, what? We know there's hundreds of years, maybe 1,000 years, between when they made the book and when they made the stone. So 100 years later, 500 years later, they're still going the same sequence, and all the sequences are right there. And that's what united. And that's our first proof that the calendar is the culmination of these grandfathers.
So you need the codices and the stone to see everything.
Well, to see something.
Right.
Yes, totally, because there's more.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, no, there's more. There's the paintings inside the temples.
Right.
Those are part of it.
Wow.
You know, we should know about them.
Right.
You know, but there's what we have to work with.
Right.
One thing real important. This is the way that we put it together. I say we, Azteca Yorocali, the house of the Aztec heart, which is my family, my boys. They were working with me, Che and Abel, right?
Absolutely.
My Cosca Cuauli and the serpent Coa.
Uh-huh.
And so we put this together because when that grandfather told me that there was 13,000 years here and 13,000 years here, I couldn't even imagine it, man. I said, how am I going to explain that? I can't figure it out. But then when we learned about the minutes, and I asked my sons to put this clock together, there they were. There they were. Wow. Because check it out. There's 72 minutes, okay? And there's 20 of them in a day. So not only 20 days in a cycle, but 20 pieces of time in each day, okay? And so there's plenty of time. There's 80 pieces of 15 minutes in a day.
80 pieces of 15 minutes.
How much can you do in 15 minutes?
Wow.
I used to say, my mom used to make tortillas like this, and I used to eat them down in 10 minutes, you know? But can you imagine all we can do? That's a lot of time. We have more time than we need, you know? Wow. We have time to share and to help others, you know? But anyway, that's so much time. So the idea, they learn to respect time, you know, and not try to put it, you know, and control it, you know, but learn to respect it, okay? And so as they're traveling, so when we do a Tona Lamat, when we do a study of somebody's birthday, that's what we do. And guess what? They get like each one of these calendars, the calendars of the day of the 13-day cycles. These right here are companions. Look up here. These are wing companions.
Wing companions.
There's 7 birds and 1 butterfly. Number 7.
Wow.
You know. We have the blue hummingbird, the green hummingbird. We have the hawk. We have the partridge, the crow, an owl. This owl is the lechuza, the big white owl. We have the butterfly. We have the eagle, a turkey, another owl, like the barn owl. And we have the alot. The alot is the macaw, the quetzal bird. That's real important. Quetzal. His name is Quetzal Totot. Toto means bird, and Quetzal is precious. So his name is the precious bird. Okay, and he's very special. And we have the cholot. I mean the cochot, which is the big parrot. Like, you know, the Quetzal is very special because he refuses to live in captivity. Okay? And that's why he was so special. That's why in Motocosuma they say the feather crown, right? Quetzalcoatl, because the Quetzal bird represented sovereignty, you know, that the need to be sovereign, not to be a prisoner.
So the Copili, the big Copili
in Vienna still,
that's in Vienna, represented complete sovereignty because the bird's feathers on the Copili were of the Quetzal bird.
Yeah.
Because the Quetzal bird refuses to live in captivity. Wow, what an amazing.
Well, but that's like you could say like the symbol. See, that was a symbol of the Confederation of Anahuac.
Wow.
Okay, because every member of the Confederation was autochthonous, sovereign, and independent. Okay, that's what it's about. It's community. You are who you are, and I am who I am. Together, estamos chingones, you know.
Right.
You know? Because we are, and I'll make sure that you do the best you can, and you're gonna keep an eye on me.
Absolutely.
Because this community, you know, and that's what this is. This was community. So the Aztec calendar is the most concrete proof that our ancestors worked together, put their minds and their hearts together to finally come, to a position where we could understand, respect, take advantage of time without abusing time, or each other. That's the idea. So in a Tonalamat, we find, like correlating to your birthday, we find which energies were present according to the time that you were born, according to the day that you were born.
Right.
Okay? And that is a very special point too. It's about time. It's not about me or about you. It's not about us. It's about time.
Right.
Because like I said, as old as I look, I wasn't there when they made this calendar.
Right.
And I can find myself on here.
Wow.
Okay? But because it wasn't about me.
Right.
It was about time. And that time repeated again. That's why they found the 20 days. They repeated again. Those qualities repeated again. Every time the sun made a turn, the earth made a spin, the translation around the sun, and then the precession of the equinoxes. All that it made this, calendar a possibility. So they repeat themselves, The year comes again. Right now we're in the year of the house. We're in the year 9. We're in the year 9 house.
9 house.
Yeah. 9.
How do you get the numbers?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we began 9 years ago in the year 1 house, okay, and then that was 2013.
Wow.
Okay, and then we traveled. So we're gonna travel 13 years, and then come back to 13 house, and then it'll be 1 rabbit, and that'll go 13 times to 13 rabbit, and then 1 reed. So in other words, there's a lot to break down little by little. As we continue the podcast, like you said, we'll go to more details, all of them. But anyway, so these are the years, and depending on the year someone is born, we can correlate that birthday,
right,
and see what potential was there.
Right.
And by potential, I'm not trying to say like magic or stuff like that. I'm just trying to say by the name of the images, okay? Because the language that we're working with is what they call the Nahuatl language, and we call it Nahuatlatoli. It means harmonious speaking, and so the language is descriptive to the max.
Right.
The language is concepts, right? It's not just a word,
Right.
So it's just a concept. You learn from it, And that's a whole lot. It's just what's up, We can bring it down to that. But anyway, so the language is going to be describing us, okay? Let's say an example, centel, right here, centel, the man of the corn. Look on top of his head right there. What do you see? Right there.
The headdress?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
The 4 colors of the corn right there.
Right.
This is the man of the corn, okay? Thousands of years ago with four ears of corn, the 4 colors of the corn. And they know those colors throughout the continent, right? So there's so much that it couldn't have come from just one person. Right. It had to be confirmed. It had to be confirmed by someone else. One time I was in, I think, Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I just came in at the time they were having an event, and they invited me in and put up our calendars, and they really liked it, got excited about it. And one young guy was so excited about it, and I said, hey, I'm glad you like it. I would like to present this to your grandfathers and to your people. He goes, no, that'll never happen. That'll happen. I go, why not? He goes, because they're too secret and they're too sacred. And then you're not gonna change their religion or nothing like that. I said, well, I go, that's true.
Right.
That's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I said, but I said, you know what? This couldn't have happened. And it's at one time, my grandfather was sitting in that kiva with your grandfather. Okay? And I'm sure your grandfather must have told him a lot of stuff in order for him to understand, how to come to this conclusion.
Right, because the proof is there.
So the calendar is the most concrete proof that our ancestors had congruences, had a national and international action and interaction, okay, and they worked together, okay, at least to put information like this.
Right.
That took thousands of years to accumulate,
right.
And it's in pieces today. It's like an encyclopedia, but it's one encyclopedia. Okay? But it all appears in this culmination of the calendar.
Right. I get it. What an amazing breakdown of how
You can
things-
take a little break if you like right now.
No, I'll carry this the whole podcast. I mean, I learned so much in that.
I was gonna say when I want to tattoo it on your back, you just turn around.
A little higher? Hold up. We good? Like that? A little lower. Perfect. So I was just gonna say, Uncle Mazatzin, that you only get privy to whatever you know, but what you just broke down for us is an amazing documentation of a complete 24-hour day, and put a representative in that 15-minute sequences, right?
18 minutes.
18-minute sequences.
I can make it.
which gives you a direct line to the energies that are documented on this stone. And without good community and relations with other communities across Turtle Island and Semanawak, this stone would never have been able to be made.
Never. That's one thing real interesting, that unlike today, you see right here, somewhere here I got my copyright.
Right.
Unlike today,
right,
we don't see no copyright on that work.
Right.
We don't see no who did it, I did it, who did it. No.
Right.
It wasn't like that. It was about working together.
Right.
But we all did it.
Right. Working together.
We all did it.
Right.
Moving those giant stones down south in Peru. All those things were working together. They never could have done it. Small community, they would build such a size of a temple.
But they would ask other communities to come and join.
But a big community, build a bigger temple. So they were walking, they were kalpulis, the ayus, they were like kalpulis, right? Once they had 10, they form an ayu. Then another 10. Over here with us, well, in the northern Mexico, right, they would do the kalpulis, right? Once they had 10 familias, well, there's a kalpuli. Another 10 families, another kalpuli.
Right.
Once we have enough kalpulis, and that's what we asked them when we suggested, at this danza for the Mexican New Year, hey, let's form those kalpulis again. Every group of danza, you are a kalpuli.
Right.
You take care of each other, you protect each other, you love each other, you look out for each other. All right, let's take a little further, make it kalpuli.
Nice.
And once we have the kalpuli, then we have a tlatocan. And that would be like a bigger community center. And then once we have that, we have a way tlatocan. And we meet different groups. In other
From
words,
different parts of the continent.
so we need to continue to grow, right?
Right.
That's the whole thing.
And using the math and the energies that we're born under will help us realize this vision.
Right.
The gathering of families.
¿Tienes una agüita?
Yes. Can we get him a little bit of water? My uncle's been talking for so long. I don't even know how long we are in. How far are we gone? What time is it? It's an hour. I mean, it's a good hour because we didn't have a break. And let's give Uncle a little bit of water.
And shout out to everyone in the chat.
It's not for me.
Oh, it's for the.
Shout out to everyone in the chat, right, Zero?
Shout out to everyone. If everybody's enjoying,
we have a few readings coming up too. Right?
Yes. So Uncle, so now that we broke down the Tonalama, and then we had two people generously donate, and we're gonna set up a pipeline to you, so that more people can understand their energy within this hard work that you and your sons put together for our people, working together, striving to bring back the entire community of Anahuac and its knowledge, which the Spaniards missed because they wanted gold.
Yeah, pretty much like that. But I think also,
yes,
as we talked on the Lamat, and we're talking about energies of time and space.
Yes.
Right. Remember, it's not about us. Okay. So on this day, that's why I was so glad that you invited me, and like you've been inviting me for quite a while, and I'm glad I was able to be in the space,
right,
to make it happen.
Right.
But today's the day of the deer. Okay. It's the day of the deer, Mazat. Right. And that's where my name comes from, Mazat. Right. So my name Mazat, it means deer. That's why I walk around with a Mazat. Right. Or better yet, I guess I do. I follow him. At the bottom line.
Right.
Because he's been around more places than I have. I have left him places and he comes back. Or I get there again.
Right.
But today's the day of the deer, Masat. And I remember a while back, 17 years ago, a little more than 17 years ago. 17 years ago yesterday, a friend of mine called me up and says, hey, he goes, hey, Masat, he told me, hey, my wife's about to give birth, okay? And so what day is it, And he goes, but she's having a little bit of problems, They're going to have to induce labor, So he says, what day should we do it? I said, hey, you better ask your wife, man, And then he goes, no. He goes, well, what day is it today? I go, well, today's Mikisli. He goes, man, a rabbit would be good, a rabbit,
trying to control it.
Yeah, no, a rabbit, it's got a big heart. It's going to help the community. It's going to protect her.
Absolutely.
So he wanted the best for the rabbit. And I said, well, you got to ask your wife,
Right.
And then he goes, but I really would like an eagle. I go, man, that's 10 days away. You must ask your wife, I said, So guess what? The child was born the next day. Okay? The child was born the next day. He goes, hey, he was born, man. I go, well, cool. Born a day like today, 17 days ago.
Wow.
And that's Masat Panchebe. My homeboy, Shu's son.
Yes.
And I said, man. So today...
Panchebe means to seek the root of truth.
That's right. So my tocayo, Masat Panchebe, happy birthday out there. And,
happy birthday, brother.
And today we went to have some lunch with him for his birthday with grandmother, Aunt Maria Luisa.
I'm glad you had that story because I want people to know that you helped me name at least 3 of my children using this sophisticated documentation of time. It's an honor to have you here. It brings tears to my heart in a good way because we're home.
That's right.
Home, community, knowledge, respect for time. Seeing this makes me want to plan every minute of my day so that it's effective, so that I can contribute to my community, which is the Sunstone. Thank you for connecting us to this.
Yeah, I really feel, how something real special that we talk about in indigenous circles, ¿verdad? And that is how the circle was broken, okay? So we have to mend the wheel.
Yes.
Okay? And I've been saying it for quite a while, mending the wheel is everybody's business.
Absolutely.
Okay? So mending the wheel is everybody's business. And today, because the people that have called in, right, that they want to be a part of it, they want to be, that are a part of this, make this happen. We're gonna mend the wheel a little bit, okay? Because we're gonna get somebody and put it right in that wheel.
Right.
Well, here's the wheel, buddy.
Right there.
This is the wheel that can mend us, okay?
Nice.
Because you know what? Regardless of your nationality, your place of origin, okay, your language, okay, your culture,
right,
where mom, or grandma, or grandpa was born,
right.
That's all beautiful and that's all great. That's what makes you who you are. You're beautiful. But regardless of that, or not in spite, but besides that, guess what? That's not who you really are. Altogether, you are that, but that doesn't make you the whole. You need the one thing that really makes you life. What is that? Your breath of life. When did you take that breath of life?
What time?
Yeah, you came in at that moment.
Right.
And you came in with these potentials at that precise time. So guess what? You have access to them. But you know what? So does anybody else walking by. So does anybody else walking by through that day.
Right.
Because it's not about us.
Right.
It's about that piece of time.
Right.
So when you come in that piece of time, it's just like here. When I came in here, I told the brother, wow, I just came in here and I came into a piece of time. I knew that there was going to be transformation here.
Right.
And I felt that as I walked in. And when we leave, we're going to go to another space and time.
Right.
We got to be careful until we're going. Yeah.
Another space.
And if we move. So earlier, we were going to talk about what time it was. Look at,
right.
That's what we should know what time it was, because we told it was
7:13.
7:13. Right now it's about 8:13. Let me see where we at now.
Okay.
Where are we at now? Okay.
7:37.
Okay, but check it out. 7:12. We began this one, walking, right?
Right.
So 7:12 plus 18.
Plus 18. 7:12 plus 18 is 7:20.
7:30, right?
7:30.
Okay.
My bad.
And we're what? 7:37?
7:37.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're inside this little square right now. That's Mikisli.
We're in the Mikisli.
So we're in the 13 and 18-minute cycle of Mikisli, which means transformation. We just came out of 18-minute cycle of a Koat, knowledge and wisdom, and being a Cuate, a twin. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And look who's guiding this whole 72-minute period. Mira. What's her name?
I can't. I don't have my glasses.
Tlazoteot. Tlazotla means love. And teo, generating energy. The one that generates by love. So that's the Mother Earth. I mean, that's the energies of this whole 72-minute piece of time. So we can work with that power, with that energy there.
Right.
Let me tell you, because I've been on this for a little bit. But like I said, still, I'm just a kid still about this. Okay? But I had the opportunity to show this work to the oldest maestro that I had the honor to meet, Don Felipe Lira Montes de Oca, who had graduated from Polytechnico in Mexico back in 1937.
Wow.
In aeronautics or something like that. I mean, totally a scientist, totally. And he did some amazing works. And anyway, I did have a chance to speak. He was there when Arturo Mesa and the other people got together and created all the work that we've all been following.
Right.
And so there were, all those maestros were together,
Right.
And anyway, I had the opportunity to present my work to him, And he told me just one sentence. He says, "Es una buena manera de manejar las cuentas."
Wow.
That's all.
Community.
And I said, it's a good way to manage the count.
Yeah. Community.
So it's not the only way. It's not the best way.
Right.
Maybe, but it's a good way.
It's a good way.
Okay. So what we managed to put together here is so that everybody could learn.
Right.
Because this is a tonalamat.
Right.
Once you have this tonalamat, you can see what's going on throughout the day, throughout the 13-day cycles. And these are just guides. They're just guides because we know a little bit about.
But if you learn to respect those guides, then you don't cross lines. You hold back when you need to.
As much as
you can. Well, that's our.
You got to learn to say as much because I can't be like that.
Right. Exactly. As much.
Because you know what the most interesting thing about all this that I like to say, because it's true, that has nothing to do with me.
Right.
Like it don't got nothing to do with nobody else.
Right.
And we cannot even mess it up. Wow. ¿Entiendes? Yeah. We can miss a spot. If you don't know what time it is, you're going to be late for dinner, man. It's the bottom line.
Right.
Or get the last piece of the chicken that you want or whatever.
Right.
Okay. So that's what this is. It's just like we have a farmer's almanac. People know when to plan and so forth.
But while I'm thinking about your work, your amazing work, I'm thinking of people who have a good diet, meditate, understand what you're saying, digesting it, applying it as best as we can. As you said, we all want to be perfect and be right on sync, but that's the struggle of life, is to go, oh wow, I slipped. How can I improve for the community? Because I only want to be a good father and a good family for my community.
Yeah, of course, because that's what it's about. We know, right, that our ancestors, look at the beautiful stuff, man. Look at their work. We know they were incredible artists, man. They're beautiful all over the world, really. All over the world, there's beautiful art, but ours is just right there too, just as beautiful, And we could share and be proud, So we know they're artists, man. We know there were architecture, like incredible architecture, I mean, throughout the continent, we know there were doctors, I mean, doing heavy duty work, doctors, medicines throughout, We know all these things, but most of all, there were mom and dad, see? And we don't know that. Nobody tells us that. Nobody ever says that, Who's got a mom and a dad tattooed on their arm holding a baby? Nobody, but they got, Talalog there, swallowing a knife or something, reading somebody.
I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In other words, I love tattoos, they're good. They reflect. I got my birthday right there, because it's important to me, but it's not as important as realizing that they were mom and dad. So mom and dad, meaning, what did they want? They want to know, what does my son have in his heart, What does my daughter have, How can I work with this, and to help them fulfill their mission, because mom and dad's responsibility is never let them forget their potentials, and that way nobody can put them down, and it doesn't matter, once again, it doesn't matter who they are, okay? That's why I say, just let us get back to work,
Yes.
No, we're not after, we're not going to beat nobody up. We're not going to, believe it or not, we have enough responsibilities. We have enough work to do that we don't got time to mess around.
Right.
Neither do we got time to watch our back either.
Right.
We've been doing that 500 years, so we don't got time, and we shouldn't have to be watching our back anymore.
Right.
That's why I say we're not going to be resisting no more. On the contrary, we got proposals.
Right.
We got concrete proposals now. Now we're dealing with many people. Many people. We're not alone. It's just like we were talking earlier. How those people are still running.
Mm-hmm.
Are still running. Our people are still running right now. A couple years ago, when I first was invited to the UN, and I get to go to the permanent forum. I was very fortunate on the very first time I went in. I think it was 2016. And in my 3 minutes, I told him I called for a moratorium on all ICE raids, on all movement of people. I go until you develop a system, that is just,
right.
And that is responsible,
right,
and takes care of the children of these people that you're deporting.
Right.
Most of them are U.S. citizens, Okay, so
right.
we have responsibilities,
Because they're not migrants.
Because as I said, these are not migrants.
What are they?
You know why they call them migrants?
Why?
Because they expect them to come over here and wash that table for you. They expect them to come over here. They're going to be mowing your lawn. So
Right.
these are the migrant workers, and they're going to be picking tomatoes over there.
Right.
Okay.
But what truly are they?
They're refugees. They're human refugees. It's happening throughout the world, man. They're all in Europe, and they all want to do the same thing they try to do here.
Mm.
They want to put them in a damn island somewhere.
Right.
And then it's, where and they're doing it, bro.
Right.
On our time.
Right.
That's why we say, let us get to work. Let us help you, man. You're really blowing it,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're refugees. They're running from hunger, running from violence, running from whatever.
Right.
Okay?
Corruption.
Yeah. So we must help. That's the
Right.
bottom line.
Right.
And they're among us.
Right.
They're us.
Right.
They're us, man.
So the perception of individuals crossing the border to seek a new life, they're not seeking a new life. Their country is corrupt and in the middle of wars, if not they're in the middle of gang violence. They're leaving because they cannot survive there, not because they want to work and wash your car and mow your lawn. That's not what they want. They'll do it because that's what they need to do to survive.
Even if they're doctors or teachers or engineers.
Refugees.
Okay? They'll come and mow your lawn and wash your dishes,
Right.
So that's what we've been doing for the past, forever, And that's okay. Nobody's complaining because they love to work and we love to work. I'm going to talk about them as they're us,
Right.
But what I'm saying is we need to realize, we need to realize that everybody here, comes from somewhere.
Right.
Even all the quote unquote Native American people, they're there because somebody put them there, more than likely.
Right.
They got a reservation there because they
Right.
took them over there, and it's only a reservation.
Right.
It's just like the grandfather, my good friend, the white northern bear from Canada, Cree Nation. He says we have, I think he said 336, prison camps here.
Right.
You know?
Prison camps.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Yeah, they call
Concentration
reservation.
camps.
Yeah. You know,
Concentration camps.
So in other words, we can't allow that to be the end of it all.
Yes.
Okay. You know, everything's supposed to evolve, and we've come a long, long way. Look at this podcast. We've come a long way.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
This is what I call Aztechnology. You know. Yeah. Finally, the Aztec.
Right.
You know, has met.
The community.
You know, that's right.
We're meeting the community right here.
Right. So what does Aztec mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah. What does Aztec mean? Okay. I asked that question to the director of INA, right? Instituto Nacional,
Right.
Mexico, from Cuernavaca.
Right.
So I'm asking you.
Me. I have no idea. I have no idea what it means. I know that I'm a part of it. I know that it guides my blood. I remember whatever, because my grandparents were very Christian. I couldn't bring this here or say anything that had that. until I liberated my own self and started walking this path. So to me, it was the Aztec people were the people who followed the hummingbird, right? From Aslan, that's the stories that I have, and that the hummingbird represented the heart and the will, and that we followed that will to Mexico and built a city on a lake.
That's good. Okay, so what is Aslan?
Aslan is the place. Lan, I know it means water, but I don't know what As means. I don't.
Okay, AZ is harmony, harmonious. Like Astli, it means an instrument to harmonize. Okay, and Tlan, Tlan, it means abundance, where something abounds, like Mazatlan.
Right.
Abundance of deer, Mazat. Ocotlan, abundance of ocote. Acatlan, abundance of reeds, or Tenochtitlan,
right.
Abundance of tunas upon the rocks. So Tlan is abundance. So Aztlan, right. The Tlan is like a suffix to it, and the Az, Aztlan, instrument of harmony. So where harmony abounds, that's Aztlan.
Where harmony abounds.
Yeah, that's why.
And we're children of where harmony abounds.
Yeah, well, we got to make Aztlan where we're at.
Right.
And then we got to find Aztlan where we're at, So one time we referred to it like the spiritual nation of Aztlan.
Right.
Okay? Instead of a geographical nation of Aztlan.
That was like in the 60s, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, in the 60s, we needed land.
Right.
Okay? Because we're moving into the movimiento, we need land, right? So we consider, hey, you stole this from Mexico, so this is Aztlan right here,
Right.
But in reality, that was New Spain, who did an invasion of North,
Right.
But of course, they brought all the raza to, and the ones that were there to build their mission and so forth like that.
Right.
Pero the idea was that it was not, Aztlan, ¿entiendes? Because I was just talking to a tío last night.
Right.
Or a couple nights ago, right? I'm talking about Aztlan. He goes, oh yeah, I'm Nayarit, right away. Because there's Aztlan in Nayarit.
Okay.
And there's Aztlan, I was there. And there's Aztlan, allá también, Wow. So it's a place of harmony, Aztlan. Right. But Aztec, so harmony, instrument of harmony. And Tecat is a person. So a
harmonious
Aztecat,
person.
A person who becomes an instrument of harmony. Wow. And I'm not saying it won't happen until, but one big step there is cosmic identity.
Cosmic identity.
Finding your cosmic identity. Okay, and I want to make sure that we talk about that cosmic identity.
Right.
Because that transcends the color of my skin.
Right.
It transcends, me being where I was born, where I come from, my grandfather, and all that stuff. Because it just puts me in the point, where I can find where I was or where I landed, you could say.
Yes.
And who was present, and what potential was present for me. So when we do these tonalamas, we're going to show a couple of them.
Right.
Actually, we're going to show tonali.
A tonali.
Yeah, I take it back. Because the tonali, it comes from tonal, the sun, and tonali means a piece of the sun, like one day.
Piece of the sun.
It's one day.
Oh, okay.
It's when the earth turns.
Wow.
There's one turn of the earth. Wow. So the earth turns, and now we're the.
You know what? You know what's so interesting about what you just said? I called my partner, who I have 4 children with, my tonali, the day my life changed. It's the day my life changed when I met her.
There it is. Okay. Hey, man, I'm glad to hear that.
I call her my tonali.
Usually when we bring this information out,
right?
Somebody will find something that will correlate or make a little more sense, or yes. No wonder, and the whole thing is that we're looking forward, right? So a tonali that we're going to give today, right?
Right.
And that we're going to give today, it'll be the name of the year, and the day that the person was born.
Okay.
And also the night companion.
The night companion.
Yeah, the night companion of that person that was born.
And the night companion is.
Okay.
Can you explain a little bit
sure.
about that?
In the day signs that we have right here. That we pointed them out.
Right. The 20-day signs.
Right. So the first day, it's right here, right?
Right.
But if you look, because I got it right here too.
Right.
So the first day, for example, is crocodile.
Okay.
Okay. And then the next day, the wind.
Right.
the house, and the lizard.
Right.
So right there are the first 4 days.
Okay.
Okay. But as you notice, everyone has a companion. Okay. They come together. And,
Okay.
and there's more to it in the book.
Right.
We only got a little chunk of it right
Yes.
here.
Right.
We wanted to show the day sign
Mhm.
and the companion.
Companion.
Okay. So the day sign, you could say the day sign would be the mission of time.
Mission of time.
For human being, the mission of time, right? The companion, we call him Ilwika Postintli. Ilwika, the cosmos. And Postintli, Po is companion. Sintli is respectable, like a term of endearment. You know, my respectable cosmic companion. So it happens to be the potential that exists in that piece of time to fulfill the mission. So in other words, they didn't just leave us, you know, like good luck and here's the path, you know. No. Here, step here, step here, step here. You know, step here, you know, like look both ways before you cross the street, right? Because it's given us very clear directions. So up to now, you know, we only learned about the days, and we knew the day, we knew the days.
Right.
But we could have been confused not knowing that there's a potential in each day.
Right.
And so the day gives you the mission, and the potential to complete it is right there with you. So every day has a mission to accomplish, and it's like this, we say, every day has a purpose and a mission to accomplish, with a respectable cosmic companion that will help us fulfill its mission. Okay? And it's every day, and that's for everybody, because we're all walking through this time. I keep going back to that because it's important. Okay? So when we find somebody's birthday, we're going to find they're born in the year of the house or the day of the crocodile, for example.
And that's the potential.
And there will be the house will be the symbol.
Right.
The potential will be the jaguar.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
For example, the house, a home, a refuge, and a house of thoughts, a safe place for reflection and regrouping, for the comprehension of all living beings. Potential, the jaguar, internal self, audacious and tenacious.
Oh, it's calling you?
No, chavale, man. How long we been here now? The potentials.
Potentials.
Okay? So potential of jaguar.
Right.
So in order to take care of somebody else, you gotta be like a jaguar. You gotta be audacious, you know, or else you're gonna pick and choose who you help. You can't. You gotta be like rice. So you don't get bothered by the small stuff.
Right.
But once you see what you need, you don't take your right off it. Boom. That's how it moves, and that's how everything's gonna be. The images will tell us the potentials. You can even ask the children what these symbols mean to them, and you get a pretty good idea of what they are. Okay? Because that's what we did. We went down to the simplest, to the lowest, you know, concept. We tried to not put in stuff in here with about good luck or bad luck or superstition, nothing like that. It's just simple. What is the serpent, you know? Okay, what is the skull? Stuff like this.
I like what you
Potential.
did because it leaves it up to the individual that's in that energy to define, right? It's not like you're defining it for him.
To apply it.
It's
That's
like
right.
you think about what a serpent is.
Right,
you
right,
think
right,
about how it
right.
moves. You master that energy
Or if
because it's your energy.
Or if you say, for example, the jaguar, right? Somebody will say, all right, the jaguar, right?
Right.
And somebody else can take out running, and then people are going to react differently in the day of the jaguar.
Right.
But if you know the potential that are there, take advantage of them.
Right.
So read the potential for Mazat. It's in Spanish, read it.
Oh, I don't know how to read Spanish very clearly. Do you mind?
No, I don't mind. I'll read Spanish.
And I don't have my glasses. I forgot my glasses.
I'll read Spanish, then I'll translate it.
Absolutely.
But in Spanish it says, el venado.
The deer.
Nuestra agilidad.
Our agility.
Instinto.
Our instinct.
Intuición.
Our intuition.
Y percepción.
And our perception.
Y la sensibilidad.
And the sensibility.
El olfato.
The orphan? I don't know how to say that in English.
The smell.
The smell.
Es mensajero de paz y amor.
He is a messenger of peace and love
De nuestros ancestros.
from our ancestors.
Simboliza toda la fauna.
He symbolizes all of the foundation.
The fauna, all the animals.
All the fauna, yes.
Y activado por la energía que proviene del sol.
He is activated by the energy that comes from the sun. That is the Mazat.
That's the day today. Okay?
Mazat energy. We just read today's energy.
You know, and we're here bringing the message of love and peace. In other words, we're
applying the energy.
We're applying it, or we're applying the energy. You could say. We're recognizing it. Right.
And using it to proliferate it to our community. So what you're saying, Uncle, is that this is a culmination of community after thousands and thousands, and building a relationship. Because you know how they always say Aztecs were conquerors and they're conquered other people. But after seeing this and hearing what you said, they had to have good relationships with these individuals. And then your explanation of the Copili and the sovereignty that is passed on to each community that contributed to this knowledge is the foundation of who we are.
Totally.
Masters of ambassadors and documenters of time. That's our ancestors.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And these are the tools, right?
Now we have tools.
Yeah, these are the tools that you want to give to the young people so they can create the new world. Okay? Wow. Because it's up to them.
Right.
You know? We can do it. And we must do it this year.
Okay.
Now here's a must.
There's a must.
This year.
What is our challenge?
500 years.
Okay.
500 years since the destruction of Mexico City.
Right.
Okay, 1521, August 13.
Right.
So we just got months. What is it, April? May, June, July, August. 4 months, bro.
4 months.
Yeah, figure that out,
Okay. So what do we got to do? What do we got to do as a community?
We got to ensure that it will be dignified for the sun to come down again upon us.
So we need to create some sort of
community
event.
Become worldwide community.
Okay. And through our phones, we can do that. We can synchronize things. We can come together as a group, right, Richie? We can find a place. We can put it on the web, and we can come together as that community. We got 4 months to do it, and that's the challenge that we have out there. Because what's the point of knowing time if you're not going to use it as a tool to manifest your reality? What a brilliant abuelo and abuela to think of this idea.
Well, it's everything is set in motion. Once again, I'll say we just need to be let, like not interfered with.
Right.
So we can continue to do the work.
Right.
That we need to do.
And ask other communities to help us. Correct? Because it's not going to just be me and you or Richie.
Totally.
It's going to be a group, a kalpuli, some sort of a version of it with your guidance, if you don't mind.
You saw the 4 colors of the corn.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So one thing to keep clear in mind, our ancestors were not crazy religious fanatics.
Okay.
Nor were they racist.
Okay.
Like I said, most of all, they wanted to see what my son has in their heart. Okay, because they knew that the son, like a good father, gave me light and warmth, and you too.
Yes.
Okay, so wherever we went, we met our brothers, and we had to realize and know that, because that's the only way we could survive. If we survive with community and expanding, and the movements were big. They would go up there, and somebody would stay over there. Hey, and the family grew. So
that's what I imagine. To correct me if I'm wrong. Like when I go back into meditation, into thinking about my culture and what inspires me, I always contradict or contrast what white people wrote, right? And they say that we were conquerors and that we were opposite of what you're explaining. But then I said, why would other communities voluntarily give them things which they call tribute? And I thought, well, what if their knowledge, they went to a community and said, you guys walk 5 miles for water. We can help you bring that water to your community by doing this. And then the community's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Here, we want to be a part of your wisdom. We want to be a part.
You got it pretty much the same, because it was all about sharing.
Exactly.
But the warehouse was in Mexico Tenochtitlan.
Oh, I get it.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay? Everybody contributed.
Yes.
Because it's for everybody. There was nobody dying of hunger. There was nobody, sick. There was nobody like that, because everybody was contributing. And there was
the knowledge.
Yeah, but there were hard times too. There were droughts, and there were things that they would have to be So in other words, that's what the Calpuli was about. That's what the Tlatocan was about, the way Tlatocan, the big group, you know. But everybody was contributing, you know, to it. And once again, we wouldn't, well, I wasn't there, you know. I feel that everybody was contributing because, you know what? Because the concepts make it that way.
Right.
Okay? So in other words, a lot of times we can't say exactly what happened, but we can sure say what didn't happen because it just don't make no sense. ¿Me entiendes? You know?
Yes.
I mean, if example, Huitzilopochtli, you know, what is Huitzilopochtli? You know,
the god of war.
What does it mean? Yeah. Okay. So if he's the god of war, you know, I don't want nothing to do with that guy. You know.
Right. Yeah.
But if I know that it comes from wheat, a thorn, right? That's like the beak of a hummingbird. You know. Or Pochtli, it comes from the south, or surdo, south. You know.
So the beak that comes from the south.
Okay. So no, it's the hummingbird. It's silly. So that comes from the south. So what is Huitzilopochtli? He's actually the birth of the sun. He's the winter solstice. Because the sun is born as a hummingbird, you know. And that's why the sun stops. Solstice. Se sostiene, right?
Right.
El sol se sostiene, what they call it. Right. So the sun goes like the hummingbird, and it starts moving back. Right. But it is when it's the smallest, after the longest night, he's born like a little hummingbird. And then he starts growing. You know? Wow. You know, when he passes, you know, it gets bigger like the quetzal. Yeah, like the quetzal bird, yeah. You know, the quetzal bird with long tail feathers. Right. When he goes over Mexico City the first time, he's an alot. He's a guacamaya, a macaw. Right. Now it's bright, a lot of sun, bright, but he is not full grown yet. He keeps moving until he reaches the Tropic of Cancer. So he began over there in the Tropic of Capricorn. I believe it's 19 degrees, not maybe 1 or 2 no, 20, I think 23 degrees on both sides of the equator. And then when he reaches the northern part, the Tropic of Cancer, right over Zacatecas, right over the thickets, right over the house of the peyote, man, right there. Right. You know, on that day, it is the summer solstice and a zenith passage directly over a place called Chachihuit, Zacatecas, which is a ceremony place for Tezcatlipoca. And there's where the time begins. So that would be approximately between the days of the flower and the crocodile. Right. Okay? And then you start walking. 20 days. And 40 days later, you'll be the day of the flower. And the sun will be directly above the house of the flower, Xochicalco. We met you on the day of the condor on July 25th. You know, when we ran into you there in Mexico City.
Right, July 25th.
And then the next day was Olin, and we were in Mexico City.
Yes.
Okay, and then the next day was Malinalco, July 27th. Then 28th, we're in Tepoztlan.
Right.
Okay, and then finally on the July 29th, on the day of the flower, we're at the house of the flower, Xochicalco. So what we're doing is oh yeah, by the way, we got to get permission to be at these places. Right. If we go in there, we go right into the ceremonial sites. And in our permission, we always let them know. We're here to prove beyond the shadow of a doubt the relationship that exists between the ancient codices, the Aztec calendar, and the ceremonial centers, you know, because they're ceremonial observatories, we call them, to make sure that we tell them these are observatories, you know. And so what are we doing? For the past 14 years, what will be 14 years?
They're not cities, you know? They're observatories.
Totally. So for the
they
past 14 years,
people live there.
For the past 14 years, we've been going, and you know, have been there exactly at the right time, at the right place, you know, to prove that, like what you could say, astronomical, you know, historical, archaeological, right, you know, observations, that we've been doing for the past 14 years.
Right. Not a doctor, PhD, who wrote down 10 years of notes. This is math.
Yeah.
This is time sequence. This
Astronomy.
is astronomy, but on a level that's 26,000 years of documented time.
That's right.
26,000 years of documented time broken down into minutes, segments, energies.
Yes, exactly. Wow. So maybe we can put on the video.
The video. Yes.
Or should we do the tonoramas first?
Let's
do the
we'll
tonoramas.
do. I want to intro the video because I know why it's so special to you. You know that I want to leave the people with your heart, how you never forget and know that everything grows that came from you is with you. So I want to give a special, because it's a hip hop song and that stuff. But I think if we could do if we could figure out on the stone the two people donated generously, and then we'll definitely get into the video and give it his respect.
Let's put the stone llamas on.
Yeah. So he wants to
a couple of things we have on.
So we have a video. We have
we're gonna
some
do
PDFs.
What we're gonna do is the PDFs, because those are the readings that he did, which is the Sub One. Shout out to Sub One.
Shout out to Sub One. Shout out
who
to
donated,
Brandon.
and Brandon, who donated. So those are the two individuals that are gonna get their Tonalama read by Maestro MAZATZIN.
Shout out to Tattoo Therapy now for also donating.
Yeah. While we've been live, we've gotten an additional handful of donations.
Great.
So we're definitely going to email everyone that contributed, and we will set you up as soon as possible. We are going to do two soft readings, because these are not going to be the full complete readings, because they take a long time.
Right. What we're going to do is Uncle MAZATZIN is going to send you an email, Brandon and Sub One, and he's going to break down the Tonalama in a detailed fashion, correct? And then the other people that have donated, we're going to organize and put together so that Maestro has time and he gives you a correct reading. But thank you so much for generating and donating to an individual who is preaching community and putting you in a place of time with his work, with his children. Your children helped you make this, correct?
Totally. From the get-go.
From the get-go.
When I made this book,
your two sons.
When I made this book about 30 years ago, my kids helped me. My daughters, they helped me type it. They have when they were like 8, 10 years old.
So it was community.
It was totally.
It was community.
Family,
It was community that brought community back to our community.
Right.
Así es.
On the PDF, we have a couple.
Hold on, guys. Let me see if I could pull up these PDFs. Let me see.
There you go. This one.
Let's see, guys.
Can you pull that one back up? Is that one on the one you just pulled up?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if we could even.
Because I want them to see your sons. You have a picture of them in there, and what an honor to be able to put together. I hope when my life is done, that my children and I do something like that. Give back. You're an amazing individual. I'm not trying to hype you up, Uncle. I'm trying to speak from my heart to you and not feel ashamed or misleading. I just want to thank you for your work and including your children. That
totally
is the harmonious Aztec that we are. You are a perfect example. And I only wish I could do that. Come close. Like you said, we try, right? We can't be perfect, and we can't be in every single spot. But
you're just a hair on the foot of the spider.
Exactly. I want to be a good hair. I want to stand up. I want to stand up proud and know that I had a good teacher. And I want to thank you for teaching me everything. You're a big part of what I do. And I've always respected you. From the moment I met you.
I appreciate that.
About 25 years ago.
Yeah, about that time.
Yeah, 25 years ago we met. And I always respected your work. I did not know that you did it with your children, though. And now I even feel better about it. I know I'm on the right path, right? The venado.
Totally.
Okay, so just a quick update. We're having some technical difficulties. I'm pulling up these PDFs, so it just only motivates me to maybe, get a team together, get a website going for this gentleman here, so we can start pulling up some clips and stuff,
So what happened?
Oh, you do have a website. So are these PDFs on the website?
But I got no, those are on the website. But on the website,
yeah.
today,
I think I'm just having issues pulling it up. I don't know why we're not able to pull them up. I know we could pull up YouTube videos and stuff on the internet and stuff, but for some reason we can't pull up the PDFs, which is a good thing because it's like we got so much to say and so much content to deliver.
This is the first one,
and this is just the first one. So we're definitely going to be troubleshooting throughout this whole.
Yes, we're going to make this a better situation because
this is a legendary episode, guys. By the way, I really appreciate everyone.
Is usually bring up like YouTube or something like that. But if we hand you the computer and you could just read it off of us, and then I could point. No, I could point to things.
You can put it up right there, like you did before, brother.
Did you put it up last time?
Were we
able to pull it up? I think we were seeing it.
Actually, you know what?
That's what I meant.
I could pull it up
so
and
I
then
can see it. So I can read it.
Oh, okay. I get it.
It's the same thing as that. That's
got it. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So, yes. Okay. And then the audience is seeing us. Okay, yes.
Go to the next one. What we're looking at right here, we're looking at actually at this booklet, you know.
Okay.
So
the camera's right there. So
so we're looking at this booklet right now.
And let's talk about that real quick while he finds the page for you. Now, who we're gonna read first? Is it sub 1 or is it?
Let's do sub 1 first.
They're together.
They're together.
It'll say sub 1. Go to sub 1.
Okay.
And these books are available, right? Uncle Mazatzin?
Totally. We've been doing this since 1993.
93.
Okay.
We've
been bringing this Ton Lamat because we realized, the information here was, like I said, it's got to come out.
Right.
Because that's the only way we can never have peace like that.
Right.
But anyway.
And keep in mind, guys, these are going to be soft readings, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. What I want Uncle Mazatzin is to show us exactly where and what point, and he has it already pre-done, but we'll get that way they could get a visual of it. But look, this book is available, and we're going to make it available to you. We're also going to make this calendar available to you because this is Uncle Mazatzin's work. And so we want to make it easy for him to just do his work and receive, right? Be our part. This is our part of the communal work that we're going to help Uncle Mazatzin. He's so busy putting together things and doing other things that are super important, like meetings at the UN. He just needs to have a fluid version.
And by the way, guys, I was told that all these posters are available for sale.
Yes,
Cyril?
that's what I'm saying, is that we got to support Uncle Mazatzin. We're going to structure it so that they can get it very quickly, and we pass on the revenue to Uncle Mazatzin. Everything that we do for Mazatzin, he keeps.
And guys, 100% of the proceeds are going directly to him.
Yes. And this is another one of your calendars, correct?
Yeah.
So you have 2
these are the 2
calendars and a book.
Right.
And we're going to make that available, and we'll discuss how we're going to work that out. But this is what we've been waiting for, community. We've been waiting for the great son to find dignity, right?
Find the dignified.
To find the dignified.
We got to find the dignity.
We got to find the dignity using our tools.
Yeah.
Using our tools.
And that's why we've been stuck for a long time.
Because we don't use the tools.
Well, you're right, and we don't realize that we're each other's brother. Okay?
Right. In Lakesh.
That's the key. Exactly. That's the key. As Quetzalcoatl, precious twin.
The precious twin.
Even.
So the Quetzalcoatl philosophy is that you are another me.
Yeah. Totally. Quetzalcoatl philosophy is. All right. This is where I come from. Thinking this way. Our grandfathers moved across this whole span of the continent, man,
Right.
From tip to tip.
Tip to tip.
And it sounds crazy, but people don't believe, but guess what? You know very well, but the Peace and Dignity Journeys.
Yes,
right?
I do. I've been a part of it.
Yeah. And we began those in 1992.
Right.
I was there in 1989 when we were discussing them, But what happened? On May 1, they leave from Talk, Alaska. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In 1992, May 1, they start running from Talk, Alaska. Okay? So that's May 1. So that's June, July, August, September, October. On October 10, they're walking into Teotihuacan. So in 4 months, they went from Talk, Alaska to Teotihuacan. And they didn't run 24 hours a day or 100 miles an hour.
No.
They were sleeping at night,
Right.
having ceremonies.
It's a relay.
But they were having ceremonies and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
So they were taking their time.
Yeah.
So a group of people were able to move down. Just like before, a whole familia, a whole group, whole Katpuli, vamos al norte, man,
Wow.
Or vamos al sur, And so there was movement of people.
Right.
And one thing really interesting to me, one time in Santa Fe, in fact, Santa Fe Pueblo, I met a good friend there, and he tells me that in the Kivas, the old people, they sang songs that have the name of Motocosuma in the songs that they have. And they go, yeah, we knew the ground hair and stuff like that. I mean, they said that, and they came from those mountains. So in other words, we know there was interchange and there was like that. So I'll just say this real quickly, that grandfather that I told you, my oldest maestro, I call him maestro. I was never a student, or sitting there or anything. These were people that I met and were friends, Right. But because of what their knowledge, it's like you and I, you know.
Yeah.
We don't sit in front of each other forever and ever, but we're friends.
But you point me in the right direction.
Exactly.
And my corazón takes control. Takes.
Right. So this maestro, Felipe Dira Montes de Oca, right? He told me 2 things never forget. 2 things never forget. Number 1, he goes, everything. First, number 1, Mexico Tenochtitlan, the center of the continent. He goes, not just geographically, we can put it there too, he says, he goes, but the center of the continent, the center of the culmination of everything that happened on this continent, to the knowledge. And it was concentrated. He goes, second thing, don't ever forget, he goes, everything, every single thing, he goes, is scientific and astronomical. He goes, never mind what the Sahagún says or the Castillo, pretty stories and fantastic stories. They're just stories. Right. Everything that our grandfathers talked about, so Quetzalcóatl, Tezcatlipoca, Huitzilopochtli, all this is astronomical.
It's astronomical. It's science representation in art.
Right. Right. Yeah. They're archetypes.
Right.
They represent a particular form. Tezcatlipoca, Quetzalcóatl, Iztac Tezcatlipoca, the white Tezcatlipoca. Huitzilopochtli, Xochouqui Tezcatlipoca, the blue Tezcatlipoca.
Right.
Chipetotec, Tlatlauqui Tezcatlipoca, the red Tezcatlipoca.
Wow.
And then Yayauqui, the dark Tezcatlipoca. They're all Tezcatlipoca. They're all the concepts. Tezcat, the mirror. Poca, the smoking of the mirror. Not the smoking mirror, but the smoking of the mirror. Because the mirror is your heart, and what's reflected in your heart is your ancestors.
Right. The blood.
So Tezcatlipoca is the consciousness and memory. Quetzalcóatl is knowledge and wisdom. Huitzilopochtli is the will to move, the internal will. And Chipetotec, the potential to transmute.
Wow.
Transform. All right. Did that one come up?
And it has that information on there. I think he's trying to do the reading for sub, which he put in a PDF file.
Okay, so we have 4 PDFs.
Can you pull the first one up? The one that says sub 1. Is there one that says sub 1?
No, there isn't.
Uh-oh. Well, maybe. Is this one it?
No.
Well, let's go through all of them until we find it.
Nope. Better like down too. Nope. Nope. Go ahead and bring me my computer before.
Yeah,
We're going to get this done.
We're going to get this extended. We could go 3 hours. We don't mind at all.
How far are we now?
We're about to get the
2-hour mark.
The brother prepared. We're about 148 in.
Okay, good. We're still on time.
We're good, guys.
We got to do these. We got to do these 2 readings.
This is the first of many.
We're gonna do these. Yes. We're not even scratching the surface, individuals. We just got to a point where we got introduced. This is an introduction to an astronomical, scientific document that's written in stone. We're going to make it available to them. We're going to make it available to them because we have to assist Uncle MAZATZIN to organize things. And then we don't want him doing 15 mail outs, right, Armando? We want to be able to handle that kind of stuff for Uncle so that he can just do his work.
And we will get the video back real soon, guys.
So we just want him to do his work. And when he does his work, he'll be compensated, because we'll have it on our website. We're gonna ask him and set that up for him. But anything else they want to know briefly while he pulls up? You can oh, you got it already?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so give us let's just talk a little bit because the camera went down. And like you said, Uncle, we don't have like the sophisticated equipment, so all we have is our voice right now. And we're gonna break down 2 individuals who donated very generously to Uncle MAZATZIN, and I want to shout out everyone else who has given a little bit of tribute to Uncle for his knowledge and his wisdom. And I know he'll be the last one to tell me, hey, what's up with compensating. But I like to just, we do to our abuelos. We respect them. And not that he's my abuelo, he's my uncle. He's my teacher. He's been someone in my life that helped my children. He told me something very important about my baby. He told me that the Fortes Calipocas were present when he was there. And I know he knows, he guided me to name him. And he's been such an amazing light, our whole familia. And he starts extending that light to the whole community. So.
Hey, brother, you can put this right there in front of the camera. Oh, there.
So yeah, he'll assist and change. Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect. We don't need to be seen. You talk, but he has to be able to see it too, right? Like,
where is it right there?
Can you see it?
Oh yes.
Perfect. Okay, so now here we go.
No, go ahead, put it in front.
Yeah,
like you had it.
Put it in front.
Real clear.
Perfect.
Much better.
Oh, right there. Perfect.
There you go. Okay, so we're reading sub 1's tonal.
You can read it. You can see it.
Right. So he was born on.
Let me go ahead and zoom in on this.
Okay.
And if you could talk about it a little.
Yes.
Uncle?
Yes. We'll talk a little bit about it. Okay. So first of all, and the most important, I'll repeat it again, right? Is that it's not about one person. Okay.
Right.
It's not about us. Okay.
Right.
So it's not a horoscope. It's not a good luck or bad luck or stuff like that. That's good too. Hey, we all like to know a little bit more about ourselves. That's okay. And we respect it. We're not going to put anybody down. I mean, we go to the horoscope all the time, right? We want to see what's going on, We say we don't believe it, but we check it out all the time. And we like to say, hey, I'm, Libra, or I'm this and that. That's okay, because that's to help you get a little more about yourself. And some people really have done to a science, right? There's, astronomers, astrologers that are astronomers as well, and that's all cool. So we're talking about a piece of time.
A piece of time.
So we're not talking about a person,
right?
So
let's make it clear. So what we're not talking about Scorpio, Cancer. We're not talking about your love life. We're not talking about your destiny. We're talking about a tool, energy that exists that you happen to be a part of, and you can either use it or not use it. So am I correct on that?
Yeah, that's pretty much you hit the nail on the head.
Perfect.
We're talking about a piece of time, right, to which you have access to. Right, but like I said before, and so does anybody else who walks through that piece of time.
Right. It's not just you.
Yeah, right.
It's a group of
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
A community.
So that's what it's all about. It's all about becoming a part, and that's why I said. So we're gonna mend the hoop a little bit here.
Right. Mend the hoop.
Because we're adding another piece to that hoop.
Okay. We're gonna add
and that's what we do every time we do a tonalama or a tonali. So what I'm gonna explain here just very briefly is a tonali.
Perfect.
Right? And tonali, like I said, is a piece of the sun. It's one day. So we're going to talk about just a little bit about the day this person was born, and the year this person was born.
Okay.
But we can also find the night number of the person that the person was born. That information, by the way, you can find yourself in the book, right?
Okay.
That's what the book's about. So you can use it on a daily basis, find your own cosmic identity. At least your tonali. If you want a bigger, like the tonalamat, well then we can assist with that.
Absolutely.
A complete tonalamat. But meanwhile, it'll be the tonali.
The tonali.
Because that's what you're going to work with, And what I'm going to tell you here right now, like for example, the first one right there, right? That's the year of the house. So that's for sub 1, right? Okay, so sub 1 was born, and what day was that, brother?
June 12th, 1981.
Okay. So the year 1981 was the year of the house. And remember, we have 4 years in our calendar system. And one is the house, the rabbit, the reed, and the flint. The 4 years. And they each begin at different times, right? That we mentioned. A quarter of a day after the year before. And that's why they used up the whole solar year. So the house begins at midnight, right? So at whatever time this person was born, it would be on that date, because midnight to midnight, like we do today. However, the rabbit begins at sunrise. So if that person was born before sunrise, then that day had not begun yet, okay?
Oh, I see.
Or the one born at noon, the reed that starts at noon. Now that person would born before noon, it would not work, he's got to come back a day.
Mm-hmm.
The flint, however, the 4th year, as we according to the Gregorian calendar that we use, we have a leap year every 4 years, right? And so the leap year every 4 years, it doesn't change our calendar at all, because it just starts at sundown,
Right.
And so we don't have to wait 4 years to add 1 day to February. See, so that's why it's a precise calendar. So this person, sub 1, was born in the year of the reed, and I think the time was
7:32 a.m.
7:32 a.m. Okay, when we show you the Tonalamat, you can see that we're even going to go down to the 18-minute period you were born. Right here we're just going, like I said, for the year. The year of the house. Okay, it's called Kali. And if you see the house next to it, there's a jaguar. Okay, so the house represents a home, a refuge, and a house of thoughts. A safe place for reflection and regrouping, for the comprehension of all living beings. So that would be, you would say, like the mission of time, the mission of that piece of 24 hours, as the earth made one spin. Okay, and now the jaguar next to it, it represents the potential that exists in that piece of time to fulfill that mission. Okay, and what's a jaguar? A jaguar is audacious and tenacious. A jaguar is not like a lion. Sometimes I tell people are born into the jaguar and they want to start growling already. I'm a jaguar. I said, man, you're a jaguar. She goes, man, that lion's going to get you. You look more like a lion, Because the lion, you can hear him a mile away, right?
Right.
Everybody runs, But a jaguar, watch out. Cabrón, he bit you.
Right. Stealth.
Because he's not there, A jaguar is audacious. He doesn't let the small things bother him. Okay? But he sits back and watches. He's about listening. Okay? Listening, mainly. Jaguar represents the listening, the hearing of the 5 senses. So the jaguar is audacious and tenacious. Audacious means don't get bothered with the small stuff, because you're going to miss what's really going on there. And tenacious. But once you spot it, and once you know that that's what you need and want, guess what? I'm coming after you. Boom. Yeah. You go get it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the potential.
With all the power that it
right.
has.
But only by being as a jaguar, audacious and tenacious, can you really be a home and a refuge and a house of thoughts. A safe place to reflect. Okay. Otherwise, you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna be choosing and picking who you're gonna help. And you can't do that. You can't say, I'm not gonna help him. I'm gonna help that one. It's not your mission. You're a home and a refuge.
Right. So you have to help as much as you can.
Well, that's the potential you have.
Right.
So exercise your potential. So the potential, they say, like, it's akin to the identity. Okay. So they would identify you and they would name you according to that potential, right? So in this year, 1981, okay, this sub 1 was born, right, in the year of the house, guided by a jaguar. So the jaguar, Ilwika Posintli, we call him the respectable cosmic companion, which represents the potential. Okay, he was born on the day. You can move that up a little bit too. That's the screen, and we show the next part of it. Okay, sub 1 was born on the day of the reed, akat, the bamboo, the reed. Okay, the reed, as we know, the reed is hollow, but it's not empty. Okay, it represents the internal self, being able to see from within, inside. And they said, but this Kalipoka, if you can zoom in again on it, you can see that his eyes are like got a little bandage on his eyes. See, okay, that's called Ishkimili. Ishkimili means the potential to see without the eyes. Okay, right? That's why internal. So we're talking about potentials, right? This Kalipoka. The reed itself, represents knowledge, intelligence, observation, and memory, consciousness, right? And the ability to see without eyes, because I know that's what we have to do. So our conscience will guide us, right? And otherwise we're going to be judging people by the way they appear and stuff, and making the wrong decisions, when we have to let the heart guide you. Okay.
And you can't use your eyes when you use your heart.
Well, yeah. Well, at least not to judge, right?
Right.
Right. And so the carrizo, the reed, right? Intelligence, observation, analysis, memory. Okay.
These are his strengths or energies.
This is part of his mission.
His mission.
Yeah.
This is a mission.
To use these qualities.
So his potential is jaguar in a house,
right.
And his mission is the reed.
It's the internal self.
Is the internal self.
Right. So let's say you're talking to your child, right, and you're saying, hey, you want to give him this potential. You want him to know that he's got that access. Like don't make that way. He like I said, nobody can deny him his potential.
Right.
He wants to learn, and believe me, I mean, I know kids, man, that were kids, and now they get bigger than I am, right? They haven't forgot. They're born on the day of the dog or born on the day of the jaguar. They know, hey, I'm the eagle. Remember me? Yeah. I saw you flying the other day. Yeah, I remember you. So in other words, it really sticks to them.
Right.
Okay. So what does it do? It gives them another identity, another one, not a different one, but another one added to them. So we don't tell them they're not this and that and the other. They know who they are.
Right.
But did you know this part? You have an internal self. You have a cosmic identity that's full of potentials.
Right.
Okay. And times to exercise those potentials. So sub 1, born in the year of the house and the day of the reed. Okay. So it will be Kali Akat. So Kali Akat will be the tonali of sub 1.
Wow.
And now Kali Akat will never change. It will always be the year of the house and the day of the reed. Okay. Never change. Myself, I'm born in the year of the house and the day of the flint. I'm born in day 1 flint. Okay.
1 flint.
But however, I think my abuelo Teocli in Milpalta, he named me MAZATZIN.
Wow.
Because he put a mission on me. So he named me with a mission.
Wow.
Okay? But I am Kali Tekpat. So I am Kali Tekpat MAZATZIN, okay? Because I got my mission.
Right.
But I know my potential lies in my flint. My tongue, my word, right? My bringing the message, It means the word pointed and sharp, right? But it's not to cut people off. It's pointed and sharp to dig and find the root of the truth. Okay? And but my year sign, the house, like sub 1, right? It gives me the responsibility. Why do I get responsibility? Only because I know my identity now. See? But before I knew my identity, it's not my responsibility.
Right.
How can we be responsible to anything or anybody if we don't identify with it?
Right.
Okay, so the first thing we need to have responsibility or to expect somebody else to have responsibility is to show them their potential. Give them that potential. And once again, mom and dad, that's their main responsibility, that they never forget their potential. Okay. But there's one more thing that we added in there, and I put the companion, night companion, Yuwapafintli. And I mentioned that we have also the calendar of night times. Now, there's also, first of all, the 20-day signs, right? They come in 13-day groups. So they have a day companion, which would be the number companion to the day. Okay, and then they have a night companion as well. So what do you have? A 20-day cycle, let's say the reed. And he's got a number. I don't know his number yet. I haven't done the study.
Right.
So I can't give him the number. But once he knows the number, then he knows his 13-day period, right? So we don't know that yet.
Right.
But he's got also a night companion, okay? And we can find that, because you know why? Because that number changes. So the night companions, they travel in groups of 9. We have 360 days because we have 18 periods of 20 days each, right? So that's 360. And that's why the circle and the whole thing. But however, we have another piece of time of 5 1/4 days, like Tlawi was born.
Right.
And then Nemontemi, the last 5 days. Yeah. So the last 5 days. So we have 360 days of 20-day periods, 18 of them. and then we have the 5-day period. Okay, so right here they have also a night companion. Okay, but those 360 days, the night companions, they fit in there perfectly, 40 times. So they will always start the year with 1 and end with 9. In other words, they never change. So, and once again, in the booklet you can find your birthday, you can find the year you're born, and the night companion. Now, the number of the day sign, like for example, I was born on a day 1 Flint, right? So I have a number companion. That's Shutekutli. That's my number 1 companion. My night companion is number 3, and that's Pitsintekutli. So the day companion helps us shape ourselves according to the way we want people to see us. And then it's like, comb your hair or whatever, in my case, comb your beard, whatever.
Right.
So in other words, they help us because it's the day, right? But the night companions, they're internal. Those are our internal selves. Those other people don't see that. Those are our internal self. Okay, so that's very important. And one day, the night companion will be as the day companion, because that's when we will know who we really are, right? And they help us know who we are. It's all potential.
Right.
It's good. So this compañero, or this person, I believe that was Pitsintekutli. Is that who that is? Okay. Pitsintekutli. Same as my night companion. Pitsin, Pili, small. Pitsin, venerable or respectable little one. Okay. Tekutli, the small, respectable guide. Okay. But if you break it down, guess what? Scientifically, it's the color spectrum. It's what allows you to see colors. That's exactly what that is. And there would be so many other ones that are directly scientific terms to describe them, But this one here is the color spectrum. And it's important because how do we know all this information, A lot of it because of the chronicles that were written, right, by the Europeans, right? And I prefer to say the Europeans, and instead of like pointing out to one or the other of them Europeans.
Right.
It was all a concept that came.
Right.
Okay. So, I don't want to point one out or like that because it was a concept that came.
Right.
That couldn't understand.
That's what we point out in this show.
That's important. Yeah,
we point out a concept.
Yeah.
That if a pope is going to write a doctrine of discovery that makes you less because you don't follow a religion or don't have the same color, that's an idea. That's a philosophy.
But if another pope, okay, can write another doctrine, okay? In fact, I called on the Pope Francis to write a new bulla, okay? Like he did in 1453 and 1493, and like he did in 1454.
Right.
These bullas that became the doctrine of discovery, we sent a letter to the Pope and asked him, write another doctrine now. Because somebody sitting in your seat wrote this one that had destroyed all these things, burned our books.
Hold them accountable.
Yeah, totally. Well, but we want to be buddies.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't want to fight.
Right.
But we want to give them the opportunity.
Right.
To hand over the things that are in his garage that belong to us.
Right.
To us. Who's us? The pueblo, the people.
Right. The community.
Yeah, exactly.
Community.
Why? So we can use them because we're using them already. Okay. But it's hard to use them like you were talking about. You couldn't bring this into your house at one time.
No, absolutely not.
But
my grandmother would think I'm crazy and just not understand it.
Right. So we have given we're given an opportunity, and we did this in 2019. Okay, at the UN during the permanent forum. In my intervention, I called on everybody there to join us to write this letter to the Pope. And then people called me and said, hey, I want to be a part of that.
Wow.
So I went to Rhode Island and met with the principal chief of the Lenape Cherokee people, and the first one to sign. We got the Kingdom of Polynesian signing, people from Guatemala, from Canada, because they all realize that we need to start to, we just give a notice. So we give him a notice.
Right.
We're not demanding, we're not begging, either way. We're just putting him on a notice that we have decided to begin, to recuperate, okay?
Right.
So all these,
mend the wheel.
Right. But all these information, like what we're looking at, this image that you're looking at exists in a book, original book called the Codex Borgia.
And what we're looking at here is for Brandon.
Yes.
This is sub one.
The sub one. I believe.
We just switched it to Brandon.
Oh, you switched it to Brandon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but this image that you're looking at here, okay, like I said, it's in a book called the Codex Borgia today. Like many of our ancient books got different names, but so it would eventually, I believe, Brandon, Sub One, and all the many others, would be very interested, to let the Pope know, hey, buddy, let's be friends, like give us back our books and we'll be friends. Not only that, we'll help you change the world.
Right.
Okay, because I'm sure they were confused before, and I'm sure you don't think that way now. This kind of thing. So I'm saying, so what we're doing here, we're going to realize that we're not just talking like culture for cultural sake, but we're talking actually the declarations of the rights of indigenous people, and we're presenting it, and that's why we need it. So, but once again, we want to be respectful, to the Holy See. They got their job to do. That's fine, and we'll help them do their job, And but we need, in order to have the peace, in order to have that forgiveness like that, we need to make that reconciliation. Okay, so it's not just decolonization, but reconciliation. And that's why I want to get the brothers and the people to calm it down a little bit. Remember, like we're out of resistance, now we're in persistence.
Right.
And I know it's our turn. We're taking the lead. So Brandon.
I understand completely what you're saying.
Guys, there's so much to soak in right now.
I mean, yeah, I understand completely what you're saying. And by no means do we ever promote any kind of violent acts towards anybody, any kind of judgments towards anybody. But we do go off of historical facts. And the historical facts are horrible. And they come from a certain place. And that is nothing that we're going to shy away from, at least not on this program.
And I hope Sub One is happy with what
he's
going to
get
and heard, and he's going to get the whole shebang,
the whole thing.
Email.
But we have one more, right?
We have one more, and this is a special one because I think it's for Brandon's child.
Yeah, this is a young individual. His father decided to give his son his tonali, and instead of like this is a prime example of what you described our father, one that brings warmth and comfort. And Brandon donated to you so he can find his son's tonal. So this is what we're going to read, is his son's tonal. Unselfishly said, no, I'm going to sacrifice me, do my son.
And we have it up on the screen.
Yes, go ahead and read that.
He was born September 2nd, 2017 at 11:01 p.m.
Okay, so 2017 was also the year of the house. What number is that on? There's a number on there?
Number 5?
Number 5. So he was born in the year 5 house. Okay. And so 2017, and that was like 5 years ago from now, So in other words, they're repeating themselves. And now we're in house again, see, every 4 years. And so the same thing, a home, a refuge, a habitat. So both of these, two people we're talking to, they were born in the same year archetypes, even though they were years apart.
Right. Because they kept cycling back, and they hit 5 Jaguar.
Right.
Where Sub One was what?
5 house,
Sub One was. Can we bring that one up? Different.
I believe it was 8. The other one.
8 house. So see, 8 house, 5 house. We're on Brandon's version, but what Uncle MAZATZIN is pointing out is the circular motion, and when each goes around, it adds a number, and it goes around again, and it adds another number until it hits 13, and it moves on.
Right. Wow. So we're going in groups of 13 in years, and in groups of 13 in days, and so I'll just put it like this. If you see here again, mira, and we're gonna get right back to you, Brandon.
Absolutely.
You see here again. Look at it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna point with my masa.
Absolutely.
Just give me a masa.
Yes.
Get him upside down there. There you go. Get excited. Okay. So let me see. Okay, so these are the days, right?
Right.
Okay. And so here's the year of the house. Right? And the companion is the jaguar of the house. Okay? So he's got a jaguar here as a companion, the respectable cosmic companion. right? Which allowed them to be audacious, close his eyes, right? Audacious and tenacious, okay? To be that home. And then I believe he's born on the day of the eagle. So we go back to his. And he's born on the day of the eagle.
And this is Brandon's son.
Cuautli.
Cuautli.
Yeah, Cuautli. Okay. So that would be Cali Cuautli.
Wow.
House eagle. Okay. And interesting enough, right? Over here we've got the companion of the jaguar. Over here the eagle, its companion is Tezcatlipoca, the red one that we call Chipetotec. Okay, which means the one that helps us shed our old skin. So it helps us transmute. And just like right now, we're in the 20-day period called Tlaca Chipewalistli, okay? And that's why Chip is in there. And Tlaca means a person.
Right.
Okay, so the essence of a person shedding the old skin. Okay? And to some people, they think it means cutting people up and cutting their skins off, you know? But Chip, it doesn't mean that. It means shedding, like a serpent sheds his old skin, because he's already got a new skin, okay? So it's not running around without no skin, got a brand new skin, you know? So that's what, but here, the eagle,
right?
The vision, okay, the vision. And today, by the way, our number, we're number 8 today, Masa. Oh, and remember the birds? Well, today the bird, the guides today is also the eagle, you know? So on this day of the eagle, right? You know, in other words, we got to take advantage of everything that's there. Sometimes we overlook certain things, you know, but hey, take advantage of it.
Right.
That on the day guided by an eagle, by the number eagle, right? This young child, right? This young man or young child, you know, gets a reintroduction to his cosmic identity.
Wow.
And that's what we're about. That's what we're doing here. We're you know, planting the seed of transformation of the sun into the people, and that fulfilled my mission because, according to my mira aquí está. Look at it.
Yeah.
Planting the seed of transformation of the sun into the people. Okay? And say Masa. I mean, excuse me, Stetekpa, one flint. So in other words, like I said, once again, it's not me, right?
Right.
It's time.
Yeah.
So time has that.
Right.
You know? So I guess it's like everything you do. I don't know. Whatever game you play, you're playing football, basketball, it's all about timing.
Right.
Boxing, it's all about timing.
Right.
You know? So whatever you move, it's all about the timing, okay? So, young man born in the year of the house,
right?
On the day of the eagle,
right?
But look in here. Can you see the bottom of this right here? Look at me, mira aquí. Fine. Give me his birthday again. Brandon's son.
September 2nd, 2017.
Yeah. Go ahead and put your glasses on or turn the light on.
September 2nd, 2019.
Yeah. Here's September, here's 9, 13, okay. 9, 2. We're both blind.
Zero is looking at this calendar here.
It's just really small like this.
Shout out to everyone tuning in.
I'll find it. 92, right?
We got Richie on the board now.
You can't see my fingers.
I can't. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, there it is. Yes. 9-2. Yes.
Okay. And what number is underneath it?
8-4.
Okay. So you found on this calendar, right? You found 9-2. And what is it up there?
8-4.
Cuautli. The eagle, right?
Right.
Okay. And the night companion is what number?
Number 4.
What number?
4.
Okay.
It was
That's
4-2.
right.
It was 4-2.
Okay.
Right.
See? And so this is our calendar of 2019, right? Okay. Okay. We're using the calendar 2019 because this calendar is perpetual. We did it perpetually. So you can use it forever and ever if you learn how to move those numbers. Okay?
Right.
Okay? So up here, the first number is the number of the day, light, the day. And the second number is the number of the night. So you can find that on here. So for Brandon's son, it was number 4, centeot. Remember the one you saw with the corn on his head?
Right, the 4 corns.
Right. So that's the energy of the corn. The energy of the essence, centeot. Wow. The first energy, And it also has a lot to do with chochipili. Okay, and chochipili, chochi, flower, little flower, chochipili, guess what? That's photosynthesis. So chochipili is photosynthesis, directly, that's what it means. The sunlight to come into the plants to give it life, Yeah. So all of these pieces are coming together, okay? So once again, I can't tell him exactly how to use it.
Right.
It'll
be up to his dad.
Well, it'll be up to him and up to me because I'm responsible also to guide,
right,
and stuff like that. But the idea is that we're presenting like another system of understanding yourself.
Right, a cosmic identity.
So it gives mom and dad, an opportunity to know these qualities.
Right.
And move them forward. Because like when we tell somebody their birthdays and stuff like that, they go, yeah, well, you know what, I'm like that, yeah, well, you know what, yeah.
Right.
Okay, but imagine if you knew that when you were a little bitty guy,
Right.
Or mom and dad knew that, then they could guide you a little bit.
Right.
They're not tell you not to fall, but they're gonna put it like, make sure you don't get hurt.
Right.
So in other words, it's just a guide. It's just a guide.
Right. I tell that to my kids all the time. When I have to be forceful, I'm like, I'm not your enemy. I'm guiding you. I need you to clean this because I don't want you to learn to live in a dirty environment. I'm not telling you as a punishment. This is a guide. And it's important that you're pointing this out for me because now with understanding their tonali and the community understanding their tonali and their children's tonali.
Right. The responsibility, comes, like I said, from identity.
Right.
So once your son, your daughter can understand their potentials,
Yes.
And so that's one thing real important too, that it's about responsibility versus obligation. Okay. So it's not an obligation, like really, it's not an obligation. Like you got to do this and this and that, because sometimes when you do that, automatically you create a conflict, right? Because nobody kind of really likes to be told what to do.
Right.
But, and okay, that's where the flint comes in, right? The tongue, profound, pointed, and sharp. Well, guess what? The companion of the flint, look at this, is a turkey, okay? A turkey, because that turkey is going to tell you, you better close your eyes, okay? Because you got your eyes open and you're judging too much. Okay? So you're going to say, close your eyes and look with your heart, okay? And I'll give you an example.
Yes.
Myself, okay? One of my sons is a stick pot, like myself.
Right.
So what do we got there? 2 stones,
right.
Two cabezas de piedras, exactly. Spark.
Yes.
And with my movie, my traveling, always gone. I, come back after who knows how long. And the first thing I would say is, hey, didn't I tell you? I tell you to pick that up?
Right.
Last week or was it last year? Didn't I tell you to pick that up? And sometimes the mom would say, is that you? You look different, You look fatter, you look heavier, whatever, Right? We don't recognize you. Like, get out. Okay. I have to go out and come back again. Okay.
Right.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Okay. And one time one of my sons told me, hey, Pop, how come you never ask me what's up? And I said, what do you mean? I always ask you what's up. He goes, no, you don't. I said, yes, I do. We're always talking. He goes, you're always talking. Wow. He goes, you never ask me what's up?
Wow.
You tell me what's up and down and sideways. And I go, I cabrón. I go, yeah, maybe you're right, And I said, so what's up? And he goes, he just totally freaked out, But you know what? He let me know what's up.
Right.
And you know what? I wish I had known before.
Right.
But I hadn't asked. Right?
Right.
Because, I know it because the way that I know and what I know, and they should know, and they don't, so I'm always there. So it becomes an obligation. But if I come in and say, hey, what's up? Hey, this and that. Oh, how about this? Try this. I'm the surgeon. I got to come in with a sharp knife and not cut the wrong part, I'll clean up a little bit. So we can't do it. We have to do it with our eyes closed.
Right. What a beautiful way to explain that. And we all go through that. What an amazing way to kind of stop here, because you spoke about your son, and I wanted to speak about your son. He's a very special person who...
We do have a video play,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I'm going to explain that a little bit.
I wanted to see that. You can read my website and my...
Oh, yeah, no, we're going to get all that information. But before that, I wanted to make sure that people understand what we're about to see, a very special tribute to a very special man who is a helper to bring community back. Because he helped, right? This individual, your son.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, he's a special being, and he's no longer with us anymore. So we have a music video that Uncle usually gets introduced to with, but we're going to end it with it because we want to honor this individual, and forever we'll thank him for contributing to the mending of the wheel that Uncle talked about. And if you want to say a few words about the video and who we're talking about.
Yeah, sure.
Richie's about to shout out all the website and all the information.
Yeah. Sure. And except for one thing, he's definitely with us.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
Totally.
I didn't.
Totally.
I mean,
no.
I said in the wrong way. I apologize.
No, you don't. No need to apologize.
Okay.
No problem. I'm making the clarification. So
Absolutely.
You're cool.
Absolutely.
But I'm saying totally with us. Why?
Absolutely.
Because his work is right here.
Absolutely.
His work is right here. Yes. He lives in this. And not only that, he had a couple of good words, he would say, I want to live my life responsibly. He asked me, how do you say that in Spanish? You know, I want to tell people, quiero vivir mi vida responsablemente. I want to live my life responsibly. And his other motto was, I'm just a piece of the piece, and that's all I want to be. Okay? And I said, ¿qué huele? Seguro. And he put it into song.
Yes.
He did in SoundCloud with his songs like this, pieces of the sun. He would write, you know, and then finally, his last motto and the message I got was, "I'm alive in my vibes." So his music lives on, and so he's alive in those vibes, you know.
Absolutely.
And you feel the vibes when you go to Teotihuacan. We sit up there, you know, on top of that Temple of the Sun, you know, and totally. So yeah, and something like what. Remember John Trudeau said DNA, right?
Yes.
Our descendants become our ancestors. Now our ancestors.
Right.
But now our ancestors. So in this year, you know, many of us have lost and, like I said, say goodbye to loved ones. And so in their honor, in his honor, I say, we meet them and greet them in the mornings when they walk with the sun to bring us light and warmth. And that's what we do. Right. You know, and we sing them a song. You know. So what you're going to see right now is a video that was done by one of his homeboys since they were in high school, and both my son Ernesto Che Yekovat, born in the Tree Serpent, and Unapku, his buddy, I sent them on a mission. I sent them to Zacatecas to go see the rising of the sun there from the temple of Tezcatlipoca, you know. And they were young. I think they were probably 18 or 19 together, and they went on this trip. And then we met them in Mexico City, me and my other son. And you're going to see this. It's going to be very, I think it's, to me, I like it. Anyway, Andrew.
Let's go ahead and play it.
Andrew Unapku.
Hold on.
He brought this up on his birthday last year. I think so the song is on SoundCloud. You know, and
what's the name of the song?
Just Unapku.
Unapku. Uh-huh. The name of the song is on Unapku, and you can find it on SoundCloud.
Yes.
And it's by
Andrew Rivera.
Okay,
and so go ahead, go for it. It's called Delta 9.
This is dedicated to my homie Che. He's on the guitar right here. We did this recording back in high school. I told you we'd do a collab one day. So this one's for you. Rest in peace, homie. There is no ending, where there's a beginning. We know you're transcending up to the heavens. Rise of machines that people stay teaching. Even with you leaving, we can never weaken. We persevere cause you're here, that's the reason. At least that's the truth I choose to believe in. I trust the universe to bring us all home, like it did before when we traveled to the unknown. We survived where most wouldn't go. Keep it Mexico, we just let it all flow. Two Chicanos from the know, we just had to let them know. With the message that we spread, all the places that we went, we were lucky to be fed. And whatever lies ahead, you always kept your head up. You really didn't need much, with the greeting and a hug, you would always show us love. No matter where we at, we all know you're up above. Ernesto has some lyrics to the song. Unfortunately, I don't have those recordings anymore, but it went something like Delta 9, you blow my mind, and I feel so fine all the time. Something like that. I can't do it no justice, but you know, you did it much better. Remember walking up the pyramid of the sun? Your father was explaining to the people we are one. I know your father's proud of the man you've become, and I'm sure your mother couldn't ask for a better son. You were so good to others, you treated me like a brother. Our respect for one another is eternal, it's forever. Wherever I be, you still reside internally. I only wish you could have had a passing more peacefully, but you passed the peace, so for that you got the victory. You are the gift, go our precious twin, the symmetry. I am the Hunaku, we exist to infinity. Journey well to the center of the galaxy. We celebrate the fulfillment of your potential, for living with the purpose of being influential. I wanna thank you for the good times that we shared, for all the other times I wish I could have been there.
This is a very nice, beautiful film. I had not seen the videos. I remember that moment with my son. It was the first day he saw the pyramid of Quetzalcoatl. He ran up and down that pyramid. I was so afraid he was going to fall, but he just did it.
There was a piece in the video where you see him running up it.
That was it. He ran up and down. He ran up and down the pyramid.
I want to tell you that when I saw this video, when you sent me this video, I felt I want to be like that kind of dad. You're a great inspiration, and I'm glad that you put this all together for us. Like, I hope people don't. I'm ultra sensitive. That's why I tear up a lot, and I'm not ashamed of it because I mean it. We just scratched the surface, LA natives. This is the first of many podcasts.
Thank you.
Where Uncle MAZATZIN will present his work and try to keep us.
Guys, we have his website on the screen. Make sure you guys visit his website, support.
On the chat? They said it earlier. Let's see.
We got Richie here from Indigenous 1492. We have Zero of El Vuh.
And we got MAZATZIN. There's, huh?
He wants to know more dates, if anyone gave more dates on the chat.
60.
Do we have more dates?
No, what he's trying to figure out is
who else?
We got other donations in, and he's trying to figure out who he's got to help guide. To these Lamas. But we'll organize that.
Everyone that donated, we will be emailing you via LA Natives podcast with all the details moving forward with these private readings.
Yes.
Am I right, Zero?
Yes, absolutely. And also, too, don't be discouraged to buy the book and to buy the poster, because that is just going to give you time to sit with this knowledge, so that when Uncle gives you your reading, you're ahead of the game. You're already practicing. You're using the tools.
And keep in mind, guys, these were soft readings, right?
Yeah, they were soft, and it, these take time, right? They take time, but
we can do it softer.
We can do it softer.
Yeah. You got a date for me?
We have one right here.
Yeah,
we we have one chat here.
Yeah.
It's, let me put it up on the screen.
We got one on January 21st, 1987.
From Very Liz, correct?
From Very Liz, and she says she will donate right now.
Guys,
But
obviously, everyone wants to participate. I really appreciate the support. As you know, we're limited in time, Zero.
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna give one more reading to the person that did the chat, and then we're gonna say our goodbyes, because this isn't over. We're not cramming everything in one thing. And see, you could see Uncle, he's so motivated.
And for anyone that wants to get a reading, all they have to do is simply visit our website and donate in that section, right, Zero?
Absolutely. We'll give the details. We're gonna look. The pipeline is there. Uncle's here. He's a part of our community. He's a part of LA Natives, and he's doing his work right on the spot to find this date for us.
So it's right here on the screen, guys. January 21st,
Also, as you can see,
1987.
I'm getting right off the calendar.
Off your work,
right?
off the community.
So everybody can do it once they get it.
Right.
So once you get the calendar, everybody can do this.
Right.
Everybody can do this.
Well, the point of you getting your tonalama is for you not to hear it one time and go, oh yeah, that's what I am, and then forget about it. The point is to reference the tools when you feel struggling, when you go, why do I feel funny? And then you look at time and you reference it and you go, wow, the energies.
That one person on January 21st,
right,
1987.
1987.
1997. Okay.
87.
87. That's what I thought. 1987. So the year begins in March. So this is real important. The year doesn't start in January. It begins in March. March the 12th.
Wow, okay.
And this is the leap year. Then March 11. So the person born in January 1987 it was born the year before.
Okay.
Okay. On the Gregorian calendar.
Right.
Because the year had not begun yet. So it would be the year of the rabbit.
The year of the rabbit.
So that person born in the year of the rabbit. And since he was born 2 in the morning, something like that.
She was born 12:04 a.m.
2:04 a.m. Okay. So her date began at 6 a.m. And so she was born before that date. So when you look at here, it appears condor, but it happens to be eagle. So another eagle today.
Another one.
Another eagle. A determined eagle there got through.
Yeah.
You know. So once again, the eagle, the vision, putting things in order. But cast your vision far ahead. Don't just think about right here. Fly up high is the high flight. Okay. But the important thing, the companion, is chipetote, the red tescalipoca, potential to put things in order. Okay, in order. I mean, that's the key. Because and also, interesting, from the condor came back to the eagle because of the timing. But the eagle is the vision looking forward, and while the condor is the reflection looking behind. Make sure we did everything right. Okay. So the eagle is the high flight.
Right.
It's the presence of liberty, freedom, and it's a solar symbol, totally. So that's the eagle. And the year of the rabbit, Toshli, okay, Toshli, multiplicity, got to do 1,000 things at one time, all kinds of projects, but very independent, but always giving to others. Mission, gathering resources and giving to others. And the companion, Mayawal, the lady of the Magay. Mayawel, the heart of honey. Okay,
that's my daughter's.
Yeah, and as those arms are pointed to all corners of the universe, it gets energies from everyone and brings them into the heart. Okay, and give to others. Mission. So these are just simple things, and also, right now we'll put down my email, right? Our website.
Let's go ahead and put up the email.
LA Natives, I want you to make one thing clear. Uncle's here. He's ready to teach. He's ready to guide. He's ready to give you your tools so that you can find your potential, so that you can search and look at a documentary about eagles. Like if Uncle had told me I'm an eagle, I'm going to look at a documentary. I'm going to study an eagle like it's never been studied before. Every single aspect of it, because I live within that potential. It's not mine. It's not mine. And it's not me. I just live within it. If I'm explaining it correctly.
You have access to it.
You have access to it.
Right.
So this person that donated and everyone else on LA Natives, we want Uncle to be successful. We want him to continue his work flawlessly. So we're going to try to help everyone who wants to know their tonali. Oh, he's fired up. He wants to do one. Can you do one more?
1978.
Maybe we can squeeze in a half of one.
One more. Look, this is
but
a
like
special.
I said, Zero, you know, like you said,
March
it's
13.
one of many.
It's time, Armando.
Right.
We can't manipulate time. And if this is the last one, we'll do this.
And
the
for
last
everyone
one.
that donates to LA Natives, we're definitely going to follow up with you guys as soon as possible with a private session with this.
We're going to organize some
here.
things that are going to be very, very, very special for our community because it's time.
The second person.
That one was Tattoo Therapy Now. And he donated 150.
Okay, here's the second person. Born on the 13th of March.
13th of March.
Of the year 1978.
Yes, sir.
Tattoo Therapy, this is you.
Once again, the rabbit. Born in the year of the rabbit. Okay? The year of the rabbit. And born at 7 p.m., I believe.
7:02 a.m.
Oh, in the a.m., 7:02. The rabbit begins at 6 a.m., so he's solid in there. Well, he's born on the day of the wind. Ekat. Very, very nice. The wind. And so the rabbit, once again, a heart of honey, independent, giving to others, right? Providing for others. The companion is also a protector, the Magate plant.
Right.
It's got thorns all around. That protects, but the heart of honey, you know, gotta give. You know, so for the kid, sometimes gives his toys.
So he has a heart of honey that gives, and he has the rabbit that gives.
Right, you know. So
and he's the wind.
He's born on the day of the wind. So the wind is the breath of life. The wind is the breath of life. The wind is Hekat, the breath of life. What carries the sound, it also represents harmony. But guided by who? Quetzalcoatl, Hekat. So guided by Quetzalcoatl, precious knowledge, precious twin, the precious knowledge of the other person as yourself, you know. But also, so all these are potentials, okay? All these are potentials. So, but that's what they have to work with,
right?
You know? So they got something solid to work with there.
Absolutely.
You know? So, and also a twin to all. So Quetzalcoatl, precious Coat, serpent. From the word Coat, we say Cuate. Cuate. So it came from there. You know, so we've been talking the language all along. You know?
So the light was always on, and you made that very clear to us.
The light has always been on.
Yeah. The darkness came, but we had a little candle. We had a little candle to guide us, and thank you so much for Tattoo Therapy. We're gonna organize everybody who donated. We're gonna make sure that MAZATZIN gets it organized so that we can lay out foundations, because this is his work. This is what he does, and I'm so glad that it's just the first one. Look how much we did in the first one.
Yep. Time flies when you're having fun.
Legendary episode here, guys, and one of many, right?
One of many.
Every Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific and Sundays at 4.
Sundays at 4. Richie, thank you for coming on, helping us out. Your presence alone, you're humble, you're quiet, but we feel you. No,
overall, Richie,
we feel you, brother.
How do you feel about this show, this segment here?
And it was just beautiful being here in the presence of Maestro and just learning everything, you know, hearing everything you had to say. Like, thank you. Thank you, Zero and Armando. Thank you, brother, for bringing Maestro. Yeah.
This is the time we're in, Uncle. Richie is the personification of the youth. That's why he's here. He's the one that's asking me, and I'm asking you, and we're all holding the chain. We're all holding that chain, that ombligo that goes back to our community.
We're all mending the wheel.
Mending the wheel.
Right, that's right.
We're mending the wheel with guidance.
So mending the wheel is everybody's business.
Absolutely.
You know.
Everybody. We're one hair on that spider.
And one thing special, once again, I repeat, you know, it's not an Aztec thing. It's not from the Mayab. It's not a Mexican thing. You know, it's a human experience.
It's a human experience.
Towards personal transcendence with global consequences. In other words, this is it. You know,
this is
it. We, you know, our time has finally come. You know, and we know it because we're alive, because we're here and we're after it.
Yes.
But it's got to be totally positive, totally going forward. You know, totally creating the world we want, right? By using the ancient knowledge that was provided for that purpose. You know, to they call it buen vivir. You know.
Buen vivir.
Yeah. You know, to live well. You know.
To live well. Our mission in life is to live well. Yeah. Like the Lakota say, to walk in beauty.
Totally.
Walk in beauty. Live well. I'm sure there's hundreds. Look at the calendar. It's so diverse. It's so impactful on your personal life. Uncle MAZATZIN, I can't thank you. Tlazocamatli, 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 Tlazocamatli. I can't thank you enough for this.
Yep. Well,
It's our job. I guess we take that energy and put our work in. Let's start getting a sweat on our brow with helping people find their cosmic identity and returning them back to the community that our ancestors took thousands of years to do.
Okay, we call it like this. You said it right. It's just this is a reintroduction, right, to your cosmic identity and sacred responsibility, with the ability to return to a right relationship with nature, the rhythm of the cosmos. So that's why we have an astronomical, calendrical map and cosmic clock. Okay, it's a map to guide us where we're heading to, and a clock to keep us on time. Okay, so sooner or later we're going to be using this. Sooner or later, I've been, as you know, for the longest time. My hope is to be able to somehow put this into the curriculum, man. It should be in our curriculums,
right?
And of our schools. So we need those teachers out there. We need those professors out there who know how to write curriculum, to take our messages and put it into curriculum forms.
Right.
And so we can teach this.
For the 7 generations?
Yeah, and we also need all the raza out there, all the danzantes out there, to really start sharing the information that you have with all the people around you,
So Cuauhtemoc said 500 years ago to cover it. And I'm not saying by any means that we're Cuauhtemoc or any of that, but now's the time to uncover it. Whatever you know, right? Anything.
Well, Che said there would be mini Ches, and there'll be mini Cuauhtemoc. Okay? Because, he was a human being like you and I, with a responsibility and a cosmic identity. So he knew his responsibility, and he fulfilled his mission. Okay? In fact, in the last moment, of this time 500 years ago, he obeyed the council that ordered him to go hand the arms in a laying down of weapons to stop the war, the fight, or the massacre, however you see it. And he went and obeyed the command of the council, which means that he was not a king, but a portavoz, the representative. And that's how we all are.
Yes.
We're representatives, every one of us. All the danzantes, every feather, we're all representatives, of something beautiful, but of a big responsibility that we have, to, like I said, to return to the rhythm of the cosmos.
To be our true essence.
Yeah.
Our harmonious.
Yep.
Break down Aztec for one more time.
Okay, check it out. On February the 10th of 2013, that's when my son Che was, met his the door was open for him to take the biggest step of his life, right? And every year since then, on that day, and now we just finished on February the 10th of this year.
Right.
We did the 8th annual Che Ye Coat Peace Walk. I'm peace gathering and walk like an Aztec. That's what we do. So we gather there at the park, and we go right to the scene of the crime,
Right.
And we commemorate him right there, bring him back to life right there.
Every
year. So, walk like an Aztec. That was his job, and he learned to do it well. And because Aztec means a person who becomes an instrument of harmony. So we can all be Aztecs. Real important. Our grandfathers were not Aztecs. Okay, they were not Aztecs who came from the north and did this and that. But you know what? They were not either Olmec either, or Toltec either. Okay,
you're talking about Bering Straits theory.
No, I'm talking about our ancestors. Okay. They were not Olmec. They became Olmec. Okay, Olin movement, Mecate rope, time, the movement of time. They were not Toltec. They became Toltec, Toltecatl. They became those who do not, who refused to settle for second best. Okay, and they were not from the Mayab. That's the measurement. They became the Mayab. Okay, and in other words, these are what we become, and they were not Aztecs. ¿Me entiendes? They became Aztecs. Okay, and so I hope to someday also become Aztec, where I can be an instrument of harmony.
We all strive for that. This is our cosmic identity, to strive to live in harmony with nature.
So we couldn't put that website back up there?
Yeah, let's put our website. Let's put MAZATZIN's website up there. This is his private information. You want to contact him privately, we're there. You want to contact him.
Mainly, I would like to see the clock in there. If you can put it up. There you go. Okay. Now, on the right-hand side, you see the day sign today. There's a deer. But let's go back to the top and see the red side right there? It says register here for your free tonali, okay? So they can register and get their tonali like we were doing, all right? But also, there's one that's got the clock. Let me see. Go up again. And the time. The one on the right.
Gin's at 12 a.m.
No, let me see the clock.
Yeah.
Real time. The real time Mexica chronological system. The real time. Up on top, you see it?
Right there on the head.
There it is. Yeah, there it is right there. Look at that. Now this is for real time. Now.
Right.
The top, just the top one.
The first one?
Yeah, up on top.
The one on the top, the link on top.
This one here, right?
Yeah.
And then I scroll down.
No, just the top one for now till we get there.
Will it click onto something?
There we go. That's it right there today. This is in what did it tell you?
Oh, in real time.
That's Pacific Standard Time.
Right.
You can also put it in any time in the world, okay? And you can also take it to Bolivia or any place you want to take it and tell you what time it is there, okay? So right now, as we speak right now, roll it up a little bit. Right, no, I'm sorry, down a little bit, I guess. Right there. You can read that to it later. Zero. Brother, can you read that to us?
A special time for reflection.
Go ahead.
He needs to scroll down a little bit more.
Go ahead, Richie.
Hold on, it's barely scrolling down. 1872. No, I can't see. It's too small.
Guys, all this information is on his website.
18th cycle of Malenali. The hertz are...
So what you're saying is that when you go to the website and you click on real time, it's going to give you the exact energy of that time right now.
Yes, brother.
And I encourage anyone that's tuning in right now, visit this website today.
Look at, scroll up. First you got right here, this is a 72-minute piece of time. So we're living in that 72-minute piece of time. That's Mitlan Siwat at this time. Right now, she's nurturing right now. If you could, it tells you that right there. 72 minutes of Siwat. And what minutes are we in? Malinali. So we're about to leave this 72-minute piece of time. And the time is right there, corresponds to right now. See? Wow. And then down below that, right there, there's the deer, the day that we're in today, 8 Masat. And the meaning behind it. And there's this cosmic companion, happens to be Tlaloc, the rain, the thunder. Okay? And we continue coming down. We have the 13-day period that we're in today. Right? This will be a new night companion for today, Tlaloc. In other words, all the information is on here in real time.
Got it.
And also you can see there's the number 8 that's guiding us, the eagle. Okay, of today. And the year is 9 house. So all the information is moving here in 18-minute segments, okay? That's our cosmic clock.
So it's going to change in 72 minutes, all these symbols, right?
In 18 minutes, it would just be that hour that changes, because the day lasts all day long.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, I get it.
But anyway, please go there, and there, as you can see, you can also what do you call it? Order your...
Order the tonal directly from you.
A free tonali. In other words, anybody can go in there and they get the free tonali.
Right.
You know, if you go on here.
But a reading is like in depth.
Yeah, and the reading is the reading, the complete reading.
Is something different than the regular tonali that you get. Yes. So there's a difference. You know, you could, like we were doing right now live, we were finding tonalis like through times and days and through using the calendar. I'm assuming you could do that on your website. That's what you're saying, is that you can find that on your website.
Yeah.
Immediately. That's the free tonal.
We ordered them, yeah.
Right. But then you can get an in-depth reading.
We call it a cosmic profile.
Cosmic profile. There you go.
Because it's a birth codex. It's a cosmic profile using original ancient symbols from the books, from the ancient book, you know, and all the archetypes, right? And so you get it in writing. You get the images. You'll find it all on the website, but you get it all in the original images and in writing as well.
Okay.
So, plus one more thing. Once you learn and you study that, just read it over and over and over again. Once you can look at the archetypes and read the story as if you're reading the writing, okay? My phone number's on there. Then you call me and we have a one-on-one conference. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is how in-depth this could be. And for as long as I've known MAZATZIN, this is what he's been doing. And I've known him for more than 25 years. This is an amazing episode. We barely scratched the surface. I'm sure people out there want to know so many. I'm sure they're sending birth dates galore, but there's a system to get to this information, and he's laid the groundwork. We have LA natives as a community, so we're going to offer it as well. And then he offers it privately on his own. Somehow, some way, you're going to get the people you need that listen to our podcast and spend the time and their energy exchange, which we call money. So this is where we're at, brothers. We've learned so much today. I'm going to let you say goodbye to everybody. Yeah, now's the time to say goodbye. Oh, you have an announcement? This Saturday at 9 a.m. Long Beach Convention. Oh, that's right. MAZATZIN will be speaking again in Long Beach. Long Beach Convention Center. There are some pressing issues about how we're treating refugees, and we have a lot to say about it. And the maestro will be there to mend the wheel a little bit and speak his knowledge for the people. And we thank you for being who you are, Uncle MAZATZIN. And I want to give you the last words because this is your show, and I hope everyone in LA Natives really got a spark from an honorable man who does this selfishly. He knows the truth, and he's sharing the truth, because from what I heard in these last 2 hours is we are people who share. We share our knowledge, we share our food, we share our energy.
Well, mi casa es tu casa is not just saying for us. It's the law.
It's the law. It's the law.
It's actually the law of the land. Mi casa es tu casa. What does that mean? It means you are me and I am you. In Lakesh, same thing.
In Lakesh.
So everything around us. So I do want to say thank you to everybody, all of you, all the whole team here, everybody supporting this opportunity. To me, it's incredible to be here. I'm glad that we finally, everything just made the perfect timing. I don't know if we could have brought this message on a better day than the day of the deer, guided by an eagle, putting out the vision to all the people out there. And the main thing is just that. Remember that that time is on our side, okay? Time has always been on our side, because time is not prejudice, time is blind, okay? Time is your best friend, like your best friend. It's your doctor, Time is there for you. But it's like your best friend who comes out there and honks in front of your house and honks again and again, and you're here, getting ready, and he keeps honking, and you say, I wish he kind of quit honking, And then finally he quits honking, he's like, all right. You step outside and he's gone. You know what I mean? Because time can't wait for you, okay? It's your best friend, but he cannot wait for you. And neither can you get ahead of it, okay? So in other words, let's learn time, let's respect time, and get the most out of it. It's got something for you, something special. So I want to say, Tlazokamati we miak, Tequitlani miak Kikualisli, and I'm gonna go ahead and sing a little song here. I'm just gonna dedicate this song. It's okay, put that up. Good background for me there. I just want to dedicate this song to my son, to all the people out there, to my son, to his buddy Unapku, who put him up there, to my daughter who's in the video with him. That's my son's twin, and precious. And most of all, to all of you out there that are listening to us, because I see my son in you, and each and every one of you, youth. I see Cuauhtemoc in each one of you, youth, because Cuauhtemoc proves that youthfulness is not the same as immaturity. On the contrary, if we provide you with the tools you need, you will guide us and lead us. So I'll sing this song to my son. It's called Kaiwan Kaikeshkwa, the song of the crocodile. Excuse me, the armadillo. I'm gonna get in trouble now. The armadillo, who is the guardian of the dreams. Mikishka. Heya, 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 kawa, kea, heya, shaya, more. Kika, kea, hoa, lea, kea, sai. Heya, 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 kea, kokua, wala. Mia, wala, shoko, kima, yea, komaya, ha. Mi, awa, kea, heya, kea, ho, hoa. Heya, 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 ke makai. Kio kukina, we cheska mio ke kunai. Ina ke kwa nea nea, ke maye kanai. Ia kukumaya, ke tishea tishushai. Oh, Mikishka. Che, ye koat. Tlaxcamati. Tlaxcamati, Wekwaliotli. And we see you in the morning when you walk with the sun to bring us light and warmth. Tlaxcamati. To all of you out there, Tlaxcamati, thank you for your attention and for giving to us, your attention so special.